walk among the stars tonight. I found myself a washing colored light. It felt like spirits had awakened me. This carnival of animals had taken me. They danced around me and they took my hand, whispered, close your eyes and understand. And when I felt the change, it startled me. This carnival of animals is part of me, part of me, part of me, part of me, part of me. The stars tonight, found myself a washing color light. It felt like spirits had awakened me. This carnival of animals had taken me. They danced around me and they took my hand, whispered, close your eyes and understand. When I felt the change, it startled me. This carnival of animals is part of me, part of me, part of me, part of me, part of me. Stars tonight, found myself a washing color light. It felt like spirits had awakened me. This carnival of animals had taken me. They danced around me and they took my hand, whispered, close your eyes and understand. When I felt the change, it startled me. This carnival of animals is part of me, part of me. Stars tonight, found myself a washing color light. It felt like spirits had awakened me. This carnival of animals had taken me. They danced around me and they took my hand, whispered, close your eyes and understand. When I felt the change, it startled me. This carnival of animals is part of me, part of me, part of me.
I knew I wasn't the only one up on your mind. I always told you that you're my star and that you shine. Did not realize you're for everybody, baby, why? I thought you were the one and only, baby, you were mine. Who knew demons always come in different shapes? Buying 1 gram every day to another 8. I be popping all these pills when I feel out of place. You is of this world, baby, you shot me this beast. Girl, you did me wrong, my tears on the floor. Your love got me here all sore, I've been feeling gone. Ever since the day that you don't love me anymore. Ever since the day that you don't love me anymore. I knew I wasn't the only one up on your mind. I always told you that you're my star and that you shine. Did not realize you're for everybody, baby, why? I thought you were the one and only, baby, you were mine. Who knew demons always come in different shapes? Buying 1 gram every day to another 8. I be popping all these pills when I feel out of place. You is of this world, baby, you showed me this beast. Girl, you did me wrong, my tears on the floor. Your love got me here all sore, I've been feeling gone. Ever since the day that you don't love me anymore. Ever since the day that you don't love me anymore. Not this again. I don't wanna be your friend. I don't wanna see you again. I don't wanna see you again.
Are we ready for this?
Ready? Who's ready?
I'm ready.
Oh, let's get ready to
Rumble or nerd, I guess. Where's my camera button?
right now. Me too.
Haha! You know what's funny is you can hear James. You can't see James.
Coming.
You guys.
Distance nerding.
Adorable. We're all wearing our merch.
We got merch, people.
Kind of a first time thing, huh?
For the first time in forever. There'll be shirts and branding alike.
Just don't let it go.
Let it go. Let it go. Sorry, I was completely off key there and just. Hi. How's it going, everybody?
Hey-oh.
Hello.
Hello.
I'm excited right now.
We're in business.
But before I get super, super excited, I have to start with this. You are now watching Distance Nerding.
She's Phoenix.
He's Young Fowl.
And he's the Jamez 5000. And we're here to nerd together.
We're talking about anything. Pop culture, movies, food, music, wrestling, games, whatever you're nerding out on, we want to talk about it.
Now, guys, you got to follow us on all of the social medias and all the social medias that exist because there's so many of them, right? Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, Twitch, YouTube. I said Twitch already. TikTok.
And the other Twitch. There's
And
two
the other-
Twitches.
That's right.
The other one.
There's the Twitch that we watch in the...
Oh, okay. Something's happening.
Yeah, no, that kind of thing. And then go to Linktree, of course, linktr.ee/distance nerding. You'll get all of our links, everything that we do.
It's also on our Instagram. If you go to our Instagram at Distance Nerding, the link for Linktree is right there.
Yeah, and I mean, like right at the bottom, right there, you guys can see it right at the bottom of the screen. It says, you can find us everywhere at Distance Nerding. Right? If it exists,
all the accounts that actually exist, not the ones we pretend exist.
which ones do we pretend exist?
MySpace.
MySpace exists.
That exists.
I made a MySpace.
It's fake.
No, there's literally a MySpace.
Thanks for following us. Gee.
I had one too.
No. I mean, MySpace still exists as a website,
But do we
and
have
there
a
is a
MySpace?
distance nerding MySpace.
Oh, do we?
Yeah,
I
it
guess
is.
we're not friends.
It is horrible, but I mean, obviously Phoenix. We're not in her top 6. Is it top?
Mm-mm. No.
Top
No.
top 8.
Top 8. That's what it was. That's how long it's been since I used MySpace. But yeah, guys, before we get into everything, I've got to shout out the sponsors.
Shout it out.
Got to shout
Shout it out from the mountain high.
Now, guys, this stream is powered by Poddex. Poddex are unique interview question and episode starting prompts in the palm of your hand. I'm not kidding. It literally is in the palm of my hands right now. Here's Poddex. It's washed the hell out because that's what cameras do. But Poddex in the palm of your hand. So whether you're a new podcaster or an existing broadcaster looking to grow your audience and get more engagement, you're going to want to check out Poddex. Now, guys, go to poddex.com and use the code NERDING10, NERDING10 for 10% off of everything you purchase on Poddex.
Even if you're into wrestling.
Yeah.
There's a wrestling nerd pod deck.
Yeah.
By our friend Jester G.
Yeah, Jester G, man, had his hands in that. And the cool thing is again, even if you're not a podcaster, even if you're not somebody who does a show and interviews, it's a great party game. I mean, you guys have seen me and Jackie play with it on the game streams, for those of you who check out the game streams. And it's awesome. It's fun. It's a crap ton of fun. So, I mean, even if you're not a podcaster or anything like that, you check out Poddex. Even if you go and download the app, guys, and you get the first 5 questions in every deck for free. So, that's kind of like a cool way to kind of just play with it if you guys want to do that.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Oh, I'll have to do that. That's cool.
Yeah. So you can get the first 5 questions, and then after that, it's like, hey, you have to purchase a pod deck for it to work. So
It is so worth it, though.
it is. I pay for it at this point, but I mean, it's great. It's worth it,
Mhm.
Now, guys, we all know the level of energy that young Phil constantly has, and that's because I'm powered by DUBBY. Okay, DUBBY is an emerging brand of energy drinks created to help focus, concentration, reaction time with no jitters or crash. DUBBY contains no maltodextrins, sugars, fillers, artificial colors, or dyes. Find out more about DUBBY at dubby.gg. And of course, when you put in the code NERDING10, now it's at the bottom down there. You see it there? NERDING10 at checkout, you get 10% off. The Yanceys just bought a crap ton of stuff off
I saw that.
of DUBBY. We got a message about it, and it's like, I'm all for it. I drink it all the time, and matter of fact, I'm gonna make some for me and James right now.
Ooh,
so
a little mixology happening. I like it.
I'm jealous.
Now, guys, I've got trace flavors. Okay, I've got. This is the one, Galaxy Grenade. This is the one I said like it felt like Skittles having sex in my mouth. That's what this one is.
Did Tyler get like all the flavors too?
He got he got Galaxy Grenade, which his dad is excited for, and he got the Dub Sludge.
Mhm.
They were out of this one, which I'm actually running low on, is the Dragonade. And this is the one that's the Dragon Fruit Lemonade. And then of course, Dub Sludge. Right. This is in reverence to the music we're listening to right now. So Dub Sludge. Matter of fact, I don't know. Should we let the chat choose which ones we drink?
Mhm.
All right, chat. Dub Sludge, Galaxy Grenade, Dragonade. Which one sounds good to you guys? Which one should I mix up for me and James here?
Yeah, I was like, or should they mix them up and do like the young Phil special?
Okay, so because this is James's first time, I want to be easy on him.
Yeah, easy.
Oh,
Okay.
yeah. You have to be gentle.
Yeah, you
Yeah,
gotta
I
you gotta ease into it.
Right, I want to be gentle. with
Lubrication,
James.
everything. Like,
Exactly.
just, pet my head. The whole, you know what I'm saying?
Which one sounds interesting to you, James?
The gorilla in the mist, or what is that one?
The Galaxy Grenade?
Yeah.
Gorilla in the Mist.
I thought there was a gorilla one.
The Galaxy Grenade is watermelon, guava, and lime.
All right. Keep the gorilla one to yourself.
Right? Gorillas in the Mist. How did autocorrect change Grenade to Bernadette?
Hey, the doctor wants to know who Bernadette is.
Yeah.
Aaron Watson. Your autocorrect is suspect right now.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm leaning towards the Galaxy grenade right now, and watch. I'm gonna have James smell it real quick. Just don't
do.
whiff and do like cocaine, but I mean like.
Is that like the Skittles in your mouth?
When I said, like,
Ooh, that sounds good.
I was like,
Just do
Skittles.
it. Just do that one. Who said? Yeah,
Well, double A is the only one that said anything
double
so
A
far.
said grenade. So let's say grenade.
All right, we're gonna do grenades. I'm gonna do 2 scoops of the grenade here.
Fire in the hole.
Or Bernadette? Who knows? It might be called Bernadette. now.
Bernadette, aka Watson, aka double
you know
A
what?
said.
Let's throw it out there. If it's Bernadette from Big Bang Theory, definitely a. Actually, a grenade's a bad thing. She's hot, so I mean, like, I would argue that Bernadette is hotter than Penny.
Look at you.
You know what? I'd agree with that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
By the way, what's up, Michael? Thanks for joining the chat. What's up, double A? Who else we got? Bridget's in the house, like always.
See, I got
Jester G.
Jester G, man.
Okay, we mentioned him.
Jester
What
G's
up,
like,
Tyler?
He's like, hey, somebody call me. Somebody mention my name.
I know, right? Tyler, we just shouted you out. We're talking about how you got some W action going.
Tyler, we may need you to like hop over the fence and bring some more Dubby.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
He just ordered
Dubby
it.
party.
He hasn't gotten it yet.
Dubby party.
That's not our problem. Hey,
All
better get that lid on right. Don't screw it up.
I'm gonna shake it right over your head.
You got to do the bartender, like it's your Tom Cruise in Cocktail. Flip it up. Okay.
I didn't get to go to
Don't
the
do that.
Dubby party. I'm over here drinking water.
This is totally not a good idea because this is carbonated water. It's just gonna explode on me.
You'll be fine.
Just don't point it in your face. You're fine.
Tyler said he just yelled over the fence.
Yeah. That's
Obviously,
awesome.
we couldn't hear him because we have headphones on and we're idiots. But I mean, all right, here we go, James.
Let's see it. Oh, you hear that?
Told you.
It was like champagne. We got some champs in here. I like it.
Or, sir,
Boy.
Could I
Get
say
toast with it.
you may want to like shake it up every now and then because it does kind of like float to the bottom.
that's all good. Cheers. Wait, do it on my cheers. There. Cheers. To Dubby.
Shaken, not stirred.
To
And
Dubby.
sponsored.
To Dubby, our sponsor.
To Dubby.
That's pretty good.
Does it
See,
not
I'm-
taste like Skittles having sex in your mouth?
Yeah. Yeah. I feel the taint. Like,
Yeah.
I don't know if this glass was dirty or something. There's like some Skittle taint on my tongue.
Skittle taint is the way that goes.
That's pretty good though. It reminds me of like a watermelon Jolly Rancher or something.
Kind of, yeah. I mean, that's kind of where I went with it was like the watermelon Jolly Rancher.
Bridget says stirred, not shaken. That's what you need. You need a little stir.
It's so good.
And some
Just
apple brains.
wants a
I'm
toast.
Oh.
Are we toasting now?
All right, let's go. Let's toast.
Cheers.
Cheers. Oh, we'll hear the clink.
All right, this is riveting,
I know.
especially for the audio podcast. This is riveting stuff, everybody.
Yeah. So everybody gets to hear us drinking Dubby on the audio version for people who don't watch.
Do I just tell the podcast every time the two of you drink?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
you just like now they're drinking.
Yes. And now he
Some type
brings
of
it to his lips. And yeah.
Party, look at Tyler in the chat. I'm hoping to get mine on Friday. Party at Tyler's on Friday.
Yeah.
We should all just get hyped up on the Dubby and like Tyler, whatever you need done. You want your lawn mowed, you need your fence fixed, you need your gutters cleaned. We'll get it all done.
He does need his gutters cleaned right now.
It might be still. Come on, buddy.
We were supposed to do it on Saturday, and then we ended up cutting the tree. I don't know if you noticed, my tree's like super manicured now.
Yeah. Might be at like
Cut back
3
your bush.
but we'll get it done. We'll get it done
I'm all hopped up on Dubby.
on the dubs.
On the Dabby Dubs.
You ready for some news?
I was just gonna say we should probably get into the news, man.
Why are we here again? I can't remember.
I forgot. We're just here to talk the entire time.
Talk about DUBBY.
Yeah, this is just one big commercial for DUBBY. Do I have a lemonade taste? So, like I said, I have the lemonade, but there's not very much left of it.
Oh, so it's like your private reserve that you're not sharing.
Mm-hmm.
You probably keep it like in a cellar.
It does look like street
Under the
cocaine,
house?
doesn't it? Look at that.
Jeez, man. Just went to the cocaine.
I mean,
Look at it.
I wouldn't put it past you to like just snort it.
You know what? This is it's an energy drink. It probably is just meth.
Yeah.
We're getting canceled. All right. Okay, so like James said, I think it's time
for the download.
All right, here we go.
Check out the Distance Nerdington post on Facebook for all the news and trailers and reactions. There was a good amount of news coming out this week.
There was. It's decent stuff. The Batman trailer, man.
Oh yeah, the clip
Oh my god.
that hooked me.
Yeah.
I was like, I don't need to see a clip, and then I watched it. I'm like, oh, yes, the tone of this movie is gonna be amazing.
Dude, Riddler is so creepy.
Yeah, that was really cool. But yeah, trailers, reactions, clips, anything you need is in the Distance Nerdington post. Like we said, the Batman clip is in there. We got a trailer for the Fabulous Filipino Brothers by Dante Bosco. We got the Murderville trailer. That one looks amazing. We talked about it like last week, right?
Yeah, we talked about it last week.
Yeah. But now that we're all hyped up and energized and happy, I'm gonna bring it down.
Yeah.
Dude,
And you gave him a drink. It's gonna get worse.
we're less than a month into 2022, and it's doing a number on us. Emmy Award-winning comedian, actor, and game show host Louis Anderson has passed away. Ouch.
So sad.
Yeah.
Why
He
do
was
we always start with the bad stuff?
because we got to get it out of the
We
way.
have to get it out of the way.
But it's also, think of it like a tribute. We need to give him his due
Yeah.
because he was an amazing comedian. Like, people know him from all kinds of shows, like the Coming to America. He was in Coming to America.
Wasn't that his big break was Coming to America, right?
I don't even. It's weird because
Because he was already a stand-up at that point, but I think that was his first movie.
I've always thought of him as comedian first, and then been in things.
Right.
Right. So like,
I always
it's
think of
weird.
Life with Louis.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah. Life of Louis. What else was he in? He did a bit in Ally McBeal. He was a voice in one of the Bebe Kids.
That's right. He was a voice in Bebe's Kids.
Yeah.
He was involved in a lot of black comedy. It was great.
Mhm. Yeah. But Anderson was admitted to a hospital. Can't talk today. Hospital. It's the DUBBY. It's making my mouth numb. What's happening?
He was in Ferris Bueller's Day Off.
Yeah. Admitted to a hospital in Las Vegas. And I guess he had like a blood thing.
Blood cancer. Yeah.
Blood cancer, which I didn't even know was a cancer. There can be cancer in your blood.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you have all kinds of cells in your blood, man.
Yeah, super sad. And I guess it got to the point where it's like, come say your goodbyes. So like Pauly Shore, from like, Pauly Shore, MTV.
Right.
His mom was big into comedy.
Right.
He was like a good friend of Louis Anderson, and he was like right there by his side. Like, oh, that's actually really sad, but really sweet.
Yeah.
That he did that. But super sad. Yeah, he passed away fairly quickly from what I understand, but Louis got his big break back on the Tonight Show in like 84. Dude, that is what? Almost 40 years ago?
And that's close to it, yeah.
And think about it back then. That was like, you get on Johnny Carson and you have a good set. He invites you to that couch and you're like a made comedian from then on out, right?
Right.
So that was how he started his career, was like Johnny Carson gave him a chance. Johnny Carson gave a lot of people a chance. It was great. And then he's done a number of stand-up specials. The most recent being 2018 Louis Anderson Big Underwear. He was a big guy.
Yeah.
And
What
then
up, Ryan?
And then he had a stand-up show, Larger Than Life, from 2003 to 2012 in Vegas. So I guess he just lived in Vegas.
Mm-hmm.
Super sad.
I'm surprised I didn't go check him out while I was out there.
I love Louis Anderson's comedy. Super fun. He was 68 years old. Thank you, Louis.
Ryan calling us out said we're all wearing DN swag. It's about time.
Yeah.
We're waiting for our nerd culture swag.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Where are our nerd culture t-shirts at?
That's what I'm saying. Okay. We're still in January, right?
Are
We're
we?
talking about Louis,
Yes, sir.
talking about other people that passed away. But since it's January, it's time to start planning for Christmas.
Yes.
You ready?
Yep.
Warner Brothers is officially moving forward with a sequel to The Christmas Story. I'm
Yeah.
kind of into this.
All these years later?
Yeah. I mean, that's been the thing lately is
Yeah.
is people taking old properties and saying, hey, what are these characters doing 30 years later?
Yeah. Well, think about it. Like, you have this like attachment to it. A Christmas Story, The Goonies, Star Wars. It's like part of your childhood, right?
Mhm.
If you like nurture it and bring it back, people are gonna have this immediate, reaction to it. So I kind of like this. It's 40 years later. It came out in 1983.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
I'm into this. So they're gonna continue this story of Ralphie with the original star Peter Billingsley.
Right.
And of course, he's going to reprise his role. And Vince Vaughn, he has a production company, Wild West Pictures. They're going to be producing it. So it's like, hey, they're bringing back the original actor, and we're getting Vince Vaughn doing the production.
Hey, buddy. We really have to do the show. This is what that's really bad Vince Vaughn right there.
So I'm kind of into this. Did you guys watch A Christmas Story?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
And-
I mean, who hasn't?
right. And the big thing is that Peter Billingsley, he gave up acting after doing that role, and just like recently somebody found him at like a coffee shop in LA, just working at a coffee shop as a barista. So it's kind of interesting to see that he's coming back to the role that he played.
Real quick.
Good for
Right.
him.
Yeah, I know, right? Good for him. Good for us. That's going to be amazing.
Mhm.
Ryan in the chat said, "Stop remaking and rebooting everything."
You know,
From
I
the
was,
Star Wars show,
I know, right?
Ryan, you got to be happy about this stuff. It's part of our childhood, buddy.
Mm-hmm.
We love it.
I was just talking with C. Andrew Nelson about this last night,
Mhm.
where they keep bringing back like all the stuff, like just make new things. But I don't know. Sometimes it's good to reboot.
The problem is that a lot of it's hard to come up with IP that is going to grab people, right? And I mean,
Mhm.
there are IPs out there that really do grab people's attention, right? A lot of why we're getting all these reboots though is because like millennials are really into nostalgia. We're really into things that are nostalgic and things that bring us back to our childhood, right? That's why you see all these like replicas for old toys and everything like that. They're doing the same thing with movies. Is basically it's like, oh, here's something that hit me in the feels as a kid. Let's bring it back. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
It immediately has your hooks, like
Right.
hooks in you, right?
Right. They have a built-in fan base that they can just kind of jump off of.
Think
already.
about like even if it's new IP, but like Stranger Things,
Yeah.
how that hooked you in with
Right.
the nostalgia.
right.
Yeah.
Like
Like-
Stranger Things literally is a perfect example of that.
Yeah.
It's like, hey, let's bring back everything you loved about the 80s, but it's in a new IP.
She wants to know if the antics are going to be in a rest home. I
Let me what's going on with it. So
synopsis.
there's the sequel's coming.
Synopsis.
So I guess it's going to be set in Cleveland again. The sequel for Christmas Story is coming. It's picking up 30 years after the events of the original movie. Ralphie has fond memories of a magical Christmas and as a child, and he's decided to take his own children back to his old family house for the holidays. So the film is going to be set in the 70s. So I mean, that film was what, I guess, the 40s.
Right.
It was set in the 40s, so 70s. Yeah, so he'll be going back, and it's going to be the 70s.
It's gonna be groovy.
Follow, like the same real life tone from the original. Okay, I'm kind of into it, right? It's going to pick up on some nuances. Think how much like we love Cobra Kai,
Right.
and it's bringing it back
perfect
like
example.
you know things that we loved about the original Karate Kid. So
Yeah.
I'm down with this. You know what's funny about this? So I'm reading the notes. It's going to be set in Cleveland. It's going to be filmed in Hungary.
Right.
It's
That's
so
interesting. It's interesting that they're doing that. Like, I wonder if, like, but I mean, even with like tax credits, like, you got to fly everybody to Hungary. Like,
Yeah.
Like, how much money are you really saving at that point?
Yeah, I don't know, but I guess they're going to film it in Hungary.
Mm-hmm.
And filming is scheduled to begin next month. Pretty cool. So no release date has been set for Christmas Story 2. We don't know the exact name.
The Christmas
Christmas
story.
The Christmas Story?
There you
I
go.
think that's what it is.
Yeah, there we go.
So I think they're going with A Christmas Story Christmas. Production will shoot your eye out next month.
A Christmas Story Christmas.
Yes. Yes.
Okay.
Ralphie will not have grandchildren. He'll have children. Yeah. So like you said, it'll be a retro story. So maybe Ralphie's kids will be telling it in the third story.
Who knows? Maybe. All right. Ready for some more movie news?
Let's go. Let's do it. What we got?
Oh, yeah. Let's get to Paramount has caught the Hollywood shuffles again.
Damn it.
Sorry. Oops. So this one's hitting like Mission Impossible, 7 and 8.
Talking about
It's hitting,
reboot.
Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. It's hitting Transformers. It's hitting A Quiet Place sequel. So most of the movies are going from like whatever they were late this year or next year to like late 2023 or 2024.
Mm.
So it's like they want to put it out in the theaters and not have to worry about putting it to like Paramount Plus. You know, it's like they want these movies to make money. So
Right.
it'll be interesting how it goes.
Oh my God. The first thing on here is The Godfather 50 years. So like they're re-releasing it for,
I
has
guess
it
so.
been 50 years since they released that movie?
Do you-
1972? Oh, yeah, dude.
Yeah, do some math in your brain. That's weird. That's pretty
Think
old.
they made him an offer they couldn't refuse.
Yeah.
Apparently.
So let's see. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, the animated movie, has moved to not too bad. It was like August 11th, 2023. It's actually moving up to August 4th, 2023.
Okay.
But like, here's where it gets busy. Where the Quiet Place sequel is going from March 23 to September 23. Mission Impossible 7 is going from September of this year to next year of July, so July 2023. So, dude, we didn't even talk about like Maverick, but yeah, and then Mission Impossible 8
Well, like, didn't they move Maverick up?
moved it back up. It's like dancing.
Yeah.
Mission Impossible 8 is going from July 2023 to June of 2024. So that's the big leap. Like it's
Okay.
moving like an
Yeah.
entire year for the most part. And then Transformers was given the date of July 2024. Man, that's so far away.
Mhm.
Man, that sucks.
What is this, like Transformers 50 by now?
It's Transformers, the terrible. I don't know. I those movies are horrible.
Come on. It's Transformers. Let it go. Be
Those
happy.
movies are so bad.
You are a downer. Drink more W.
Just, no amount of W is gonna make me like those movies.
We need to give him a Snickers.
Rude.
That may actually do something.
Oh, Ryan, by the way, that's a good point. So Ryan said they rebooted the Power Rangers, but we never got a sequel. Makes me angry. You know, that's a property that has like such a good following and a dedicated following. I'm surprised they haven't done more with it.
Yeah.
I don't know why. Is it because there's too many different type of Power Rangers to bring back?
The fans are really like dedicated too. There is not a single con that goes by, and I've been to a lot of cons, that I don't see a couple Power Rangers walking around.
Right. I mean, because they had greenlit the sequel to the new Power Rangers movie, but then at the same time, like there was just so much backlash that they just backed off of it.
Yeah. It's one of those things that it's like, I like that they were going to reboot it, but it didn't have a heart behind them and like that nostalgia feeling. So I think that's what was the downfall. But like people still love it. It's so crazy. Like we have friends on that we go to the cons, like the Power Rangers couple.
Yeah,
they're all over the place. I think we're going to see them at Capitola.
Yeah, they said they were going to be there.
Yeah, so it's crazy. So yeah, Ryan, I agree. They should bring that back somehow. Anyway, sorry. Bad movie news. Back to where movie release dates don't get changed. It's Netflix news time.
Oh yeah. Here we go.
So the highly anticipated sequel for Knives Out 2. So the sequel to Knives Out 2, is expected to be released on Netflix by the end of this year. So no exact date, because that's how
Netflix rolls. I
Yeah.
mean, Netflix is not going to tell us when it's coming out until 2 weeks before it comes out.
Mm-hmm. But what they plan to do with it is they plan to do some sort of festival run. So technically, you know, they're going to say it's been in theaters.
Okay.
And then go to Netflix. So I'm like, oh, cheating the system. I like it.
I'm not surprised with this one. It came out in 2019. I'm sure they would have released something sooner if COVID hadn't hit. So I'm excited for this one.
Yep. Yeah, I like the first movie.
Yeah. My boy Benoit Blanc.
So Ryan Johnson is, of course, bringing back Daniel Craig as Benoit Blanc, but then he's got Catherine Hahn, Ethan Hawke, Edward Norton, Dave Bautista, Kate Hudson, Janelle Monáe, Leslie Odom Jr. It's a big cast.
Jessica Henwick, Madeline Klein, like they've got some pretty big heavy hitters like in this. But I mean, the first movie had nothing but heavy hitters in it. So, I mean, you know, it's just
Exactly. So production has wrapped since like September. So I mean, it's been in post.
And didn't they film both movies at the same time or no?
I heard that. That's a good point. Now I have to look up, and I think I'm going to find some information up, but I can't find any information up there. But
okay,
I'm going to keep looking up there. I'm just kidding. I don't know. We'll have to look that up. I wish somebody had the internet in front of them.
Yeah. I mean, you know, but we all know with live shows the internet doesn't work. So
okay, let's keep going. Netflix news. Back to where movie releases don't get changed.
Yeah.
Squid Game, of course, dominated Netflix.
So good.
And it had over 1.65 billion hours of viewing in the first 28 days. Right?
It was a hit.
So like the director or the creator has said that they're doing 2. They're also talking about 3. Netflix is finally saying, yes, we're doing season 2 of Squid Game. All right. So,
I mean, they're announcing it, but we kind of already knew.
Yeah, I mean, everybody assumed like, hey, your biggest blockbuster show.
We also knew because we had insider information. So,
right.
I know we're not quite. I know. I know we're not quite in rumors right now, but there are rumors that it will be in a different place. I don't know if that's true.
Speaking during the quarterly investors meeting, co-CEO Ted Sarandos confirmed season 2, but he also said, absolutely, it's happening. The Squid Games universe has just begun.
Oh yeah, they're building a universe. Yeah.
And it makes sense. It's like that's an easy thing that they could port over to different countries,
right? Especially for how big it is. I mean, you know, it doesn't have to stay in Korea. They can easily move that to all kinds of different places.
How scary! Like put it in San Francisco or Yeah.
I have a feeling they're not going to put it in the U.S. like that early. It's probably going to be like in a bunch of different like other countries
hmm
before it ever comes to the U.S.
Yep. But yeah, it's nice that Netflix is finally saying, like, yes, we're doing it too. Netflix is always tight-chested with stuff, so it's cool that they finally said it. So,
Yeah.
okay, moving on to the happiest streaming place on earth. Check, this is actually kind of neat. So, Disney story artist David G. Garrick, who has worked on like How to Train Your Dragon, B-Movie, Moana, Raya and the Last Dragon, Encanto.
Megamind.
He's going to be directing the new Moana series for Disney Plus.
Series.
Everything.
Yeah, I actually didn't know that they were going to do a series.
Yeah.
I'm so used to you doing Mickey now that I like
You just didn't even,
there goes Phil again.
especially on TikTok.
Didn't mean to step on that one, by the way.
So the series is reportedly serves as a follow-up to, of course, the 2016 movie. So it's like it follows Moana after, what happens in the movie.
Yeah.
Moananopsis.
So the series is described as a long, check this out, a long-form musical, which will continue the Island Princess's story. I kind of dig that.
Okay.
So it'll be music every week?
Probably, unless they frame it as like a kind of an after-school kids show, like kind of low budget.
Is Lin-Manuel Miranda writing everything?
I know, right?
He's gotta.
Yeah. And then on top of that, I'm pretty sure 100% this show is going to be on repeat in James's house.
Heck yeah, I'm down with that.
Mhm.
So it'll feature Moana as she ventures far beyond the reef. No one goes beyond the reef. And we'll see Walt Disney Animation connecting with storytellers from Moana's home region of the Pacific Islands.
Right.
Kind of dig that. I'm down with
If
it.
she went and found Maui, she can't have gone too far, right? I mean,
You're welcome.
yeah.
You know what's
And-
funny is there's gonna be episodes where like maybe one episode features The Rock. It's
I
gonna
know. Yeah. He has to be on, right?
he's doing so much with Disney right now. It would not make sense for him to like. I'm sure he's probably already recorded lines at this point, knowing Dwayne Johnson.
Dude, he's in everything.
Yeah.
Like he's doing stuff for NBC. He's doing stuff for Disney. He's doing stuff for Amazon Prime or Prime Video, I should say.
That's right. They just announced him and Chris Evans are doing a series on Amazon Prime.
It's crazy. He's like getting his and then
And
he's
he's got-
doing Black Adam for Warner
Right.
Brothers. You know,
and he's
HBO.
and he just signed 2 more Red Notice films for Netflix.
Exactly. He's all over. It's like
You just can't stop him.
No,
Mhm.
no.
Anyway, back to Moana. Moana is set to sail onto Disney Plus in 2024.
You're welcome.
Since
She never says thank you.
she doesn't need to. Since we're going for on a sale with Moana, let's keep going with some Disney Plus shows.
Mm-hmm. I'm excited for this one.
Yeah. So Disney Plus has given a full series order for Percy Jackson and the Olympians.
Yes.
I am excited about this one.
Did you guys read the books? Did anybody read the books in the chat?
I did.
So you read. Okay, cool.
I read them. Yeah.
I remember it was huge back in the day,
Mhm.
like Harry Potter type huge.
hmm
I just think that the first 2 movies, they just didn't land. It's like they weren't quality enough. But I felt like that could have been a huge franchise.
Yeah.
When they first came out, I was getting a little too old to really get into them, but I had little cousins, so I was reading them to them, and I just kept reading. Like they go to bed, and I keep going.
Mm-hmm. You're like, this is for me.
Yeah, this is for me. This is my book now.
I finished the book last night. You were asleep.
Yeah, yeah.
Sorry, I'm not sorry.
So the
But
series. Oh, go ahead. Go
I
ahead.
was gonna say that, but the movies were just as good. Which
I
is
like those movies,
really, really rare.
They just put the second one on Disney Plus.
I think
did.
they're also on Peacock as well.
hmm
I noticed it too when we was like flipping through things. I'm like, oh, that's in 2 different places. That's
Mhm.
Yeah.
weird. But anyway,
It's how like Harry Potter is on like 3 different streaming
Yeah.
services right now.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking too.
Mhm.
So the series is being created by Rick Riordan.
Rick
Who-
Riordan.
That's what I said. Riordan.
Riordan.
Reardon.
Right.
Rearing your ugly head right now with your corrections. Who wrote the original book series, and which has sold over 180 million copies.
Sorry.
That dude is rich. 180 million copies.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
So him and John Steinberg, dude, quit doing that. That's creepy.
I can see
The other co-creator of FX's upcoming series, The Old Man, they will pair to write the pilot, and we have a Olympus synopsis.
Olympus synopsis.
You got to read it. You haven't been talking enough. People are here to listen to you. Not
All
me.
right, all right. Percy Jackson and the Olympians tells the fantastical story of a 12-year-old modern demigod, Percy Jackson, who's just coming to terms with his newfound supernatural powers when the sky god Zeus accuses him of stealing his master's lightning bolt. Master Lightning Bolt. Now, Percy must trek across America to find it and restore order to Olympus.
So you know what that tells me is that this isn't a continuation. This is
Reboot.
like retelling.
It's a reboot, right? So I mean, they're redoing the entire story.
Because they had 2 movies. I'm
Mhm.
sure the actors, way older now, but
Mhm.
yeah, they're rebooting this sucker.
Yeah, he's like 26, 27, 28, playing a 12-year-old again. Just
Right.
Yeah. Well, I mean, the first movie came out in 2010, right?
Mhm.
So I'm wondering, is it still 2010 for Percy Jackson? Because I know that it was like originally told in the early 2000s. That's when the books were meant to be, or like the 90s, early 2000s. And then they adapted it into 2010. Are they going to adapt it for 2022?
they might. I
Because-
mean, it depends on kind of. I mean, that's probably what they're going to do. It's probably going to be one of those stories where it's just like in an ambiguous timeline. It's like they don't necessarily say what time it is, but it's like current kind of thing. So
Oh, in the books they make really dated references. And even in the movies they have dated references. So I'm sort of like, yeah,
mhm.
I'm curious.
I'm sure it's just going to be a complete reboot. So Disney's going to.
Yeah, they're just
Make
like
it
it
their
has
own.
to sit in the early 2000s. How do we make it the early 2000s? Check out my Osiris's.
Now, this wasn't a Disney property, right? This was a.
Fox. So
Fox.
when Disney
Thank you.
bought Fox, it was this is now theirs.
Right.
He'll be like, that Shia LaBeouf, he's gonna go somewhere.
Oh yeah.
Exactly. So production is going to lightning strike this summer with casting currently underway.
Oh yeah!
It's so crazy how fast they're moving production these days.
I know.
Like, oh, production's going to start this summer. We don't know who the cast is.
It seems like production schedules are flying now that like with COVID restrictions and everything, they're able to just kind of like move things a lot faster.
Yeah.
I think there's a lot more safety protocols on there too, because I've heard a lot about like safety protocols causing problems on certain sets. So
Mhm. Speaking of lightning trying to strike twice, Peacock is trying to get into the Tiger game.
oh god.
I love it. I love it. I'll eat up.
No.
Yes, this is a thing.
I'll eat up all of this. Give me all the Tiger things. So Peacock has released the first image and teaser trailer for Joe versus Carol, a limited series focused on big cat enthusiast Carol Baskins and exotic animal lover Joe Exotic.
God.
I love it.
So
I love everything Tiger King. I
No.
can't get enough. I can't get enough.
No, it is the darkest part of society.
And I love it. I just
No.
listened to it was like heaven for me. It was some dude from season 2 of Tiger King, like one of those YouTube guys
mhm.
that went like going after Carol Baskins, right? Like trying to figure out who killed Don, right? It was him on the Chris Jericho podcast,
Oh god.
and they were talking Tiger King, they were talking wrestling. I'm like, this is so good. I just want to.
It was
I'm gonna listen to it again after this.
I was listening to another podcast, and he was talking about how, like for people on the coast, like we see, like Joe Exotic and Carol Baskin and think like, oh, these people are eccentric and crazy. if you're from rural America, these people are just normal, everyday people.
Yeah.
So these are the kind of people you deal with when you're in rural America. So just a lot of people just kind of like shrug it off and it's like, oh yeah, he's just crazy. It's like, no, this is regular everyday people. Like people are batshit crazy in America.
Yeah.
Anybody in the chat that has not seen Tiger King?
Is that a thing? Do people exist that have never seen Tiger King?
That was like the hottest thing when the pandemic hit. It's like, what are we gonna watch? Like, oh, what's this new thing that everybody's talking about?
Have you seen the TikTok of the he's like a bigger Filipino dude?
No.
And he does like, after one day of watching Tiger King, right? After 2 days of watching Tiger King, and then it's like, after 7 days of watching Tiger King, fuck you, Carol Baskin.
Oh, that's funny. That's funny. That accent was a little Thai. Not
no, but that's the thing is that
I'm
he
just
did.
saying.
No, but I'm saying he did
I
like
know,
a super, like really deep Filipino.
Yeah.
accent. He's like, after 1 day of watching Tiger King,
Yeah, that's funny. I'll have to go
after
find
2 days of watching Tiger King.
I'll have to find that TikTok after I watch all your Mickey videos
my Mickey videos are amazing.
on the distance nerding TikTok.
Yeah.
I'm a huge Mickey fan.
Okay.
Also, I don't know if you guys have seen like just like the regular TikToks that I've been doing. I've been doing like the trends, and those have been like fun.
No, I haven't seen your TikToks. I haven't been wearing my skinny jeans long enough to watch your TikToks.
Is Deadpool still crying?
He is.
I keep my TikTok account in my fanny pack that I wear over my shoulder.
Okay,
Very-
Boomer.
I'm very bitter.
No, that's very much a millennial thing. No, the TikTok of Deadpool crying because Betty White passed away. That one literally made Jackie laugh out loud. So it is very gratifying for me when I get my wife to laugh at anything I do.
Mhm.
And to see Jackie actually like watch that video and go, okay, that's actually pretty funny, and laugh out loud.
Mhm.
You know, because
There
it was
you
just,
go.
you know, like I did a voiceover of it because obviously I didn't want to do it with the mask on. You just hear like the mask muffle on there.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's just him crying hysterically, and then there's a voiceover that says after 23 days after Betty White left us, and he's just crying hysterically with a Golden Girls t-shirt on, a bathrobe over that, a Golden Girls blanket over that.
Maybe you should do a Tiger King TikTok.
Maybe.
There you go. So, Joe versus Carol is starring John Cameron Mitchell as Joe Exotic, and Kate McKinnon is going to be Carol Baskins.
Yeah.
Kate McKinnon from Saturday Night Live, Ghostbusters 2016.
Oh my God.
She's going to be amazing.
Yeah.
I love her.
We gonna do this, James?
You do
We're
it.
gonna do this. Tigeropsis.
Based on the podcast for Joe Exotic called Wondery. I didn't even know it was called Wondery. Hosted and reported by Robert Moore, the limited series will center around Carol Baskins, big cat enthusiast, who learns that fellow exotic animal lover Joe Exotic. Can you pronounce his last name?
Shreevogel.
Yeah, no, that's not it either.
No, it is. It's Shreevogel.
Oh, okay. Is breeding and using his big cats for profit. Okay, sure. Isn't she doing it for profit too?
No, she's doing it because she's trying to save the big cats.
Oh, no money whatsoever.
No, there's no money involved in what she does at
And
all.
he's doing a throuple thing.
Mm-hmm.
He's doing a
Mhm.
throuple thing, or she's doing a throuple thing.
He's got a throuple thing.
We know he has a throuple thing.
Mhm.
So she sets out to shut down his venture, inciting a quickly escalating rivalry. But Carol has a checkered past of her own, and when the claws come out, Joe will stop at nothing to expose what he sees as her hypocrisy. The results prove dangerous.
Carol Baskin,
Carol
Twitter.
Baskin.
husband, whacked him. Can't convince me that it didn't happen. Fed him, the tigers, they snacking. What's happening? Carol Baskin.
How many times did you listen to that?
Like 5 million times. Mostly because Jackie listened to it like on repeat. So it's
Oh
like,
my
Okay.
It's like chicken wing, hot dog and bologna, chicken and macaroni, chilling with my homies. Boom, 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 boom.
Hey, Cat and Kittens. All 8 episodes will be purring onto Peacock March 3rd.
Oh, it's like a day before we go to the con.
There you go. Yeah.
We're all gonna watch it together.
Definitely.
Okay. No more stories about crazy people.
I mean, all stories are about crazy people.
Even
It just
this next
matters.
one is about crazy people.
It just matters on the level of crazy.
So
Good crazy or bad crazy?
Exactly.
HBO's The White Lotus ended. It ended up being a surprise hit. I watched it. I really liked it. My wife watched it. She was like, I don't know what I watched. I don't know if I liked it. But she's like, what? That's a WTF type show. Like, I don't get it. But it was good enough where they ordered a second season. It was supposed to be just an anthology series and be done, but they ordered a second season. So Variety is now reporting that season 2 will shift from Hawaii to an Italian location at another White Lotus resort, which makes sense. Kind of like the whole Squid Game thing. Like, oh, it's the same premise. Pick it up, move it somewhere else, put it down, and just put in new people. But it's all about like what happens at this resort and like between the employees and the guests and how they're all interconnected, and it's telling like 5 different stories.
Interesting.
But then they start like as the show goes on, it starts to weave together. I mean, it's a little tragic at the end, but yeah, I liked it. I thought it was pretty cool. So the new season is being filmed in Sicily. So I'm assuming they're going to be saying it's going to happen in Italy.
Right.
So they weren't sure if it's going to be connected, but it looks like Jennifer Coolidge is coming back to reprise her role.
Jennifer Coolidge. Name is familiar. Is she on Book of Boba right now? Is that her?
No, Jennifer Coolidge. What is that movie she was in? Look at
Legally Blonde. She was
Oh, okay. I know exactly who that is. Yes,
what movie am I thinking of that she was in?
She's Stifler's mom.
Stifler's mom. Thank you.
Yeah,
that's right.
Yeah.
She's the woman who coined the term MILF.
Yeah, exactly. So she's in it. She's super funny. It's a really interesting show.
Phoenix, and for everybody who's watching, do you notice why I moved me and James's cameras?
Mm-hmm.
Because now when I look at him, it actually looks like I'm looking at him.
Oh, I see what you're doing. You weirdo. So meta.
That's why I laughed while he was talking.
Right, and then I can like look down. Hey, hi, Phoenix.
Hi.
Hey.
What?
Wait, you look down. She looks up.
Hi.
She's not looking up. See,
Hi.
that's the bit. She has to look up. It's the Brady Bunch.
Hello.
Hi.
Look, can you see me?
I can see you.
She's not looking up.
She's not looking at me.
I'm looking up.
I'm looking
Look
right
it
at
up.
her.
It's
I'm
creepy.
looking up.
Super creepy.
Yeah.
This is Brady
I
Bunch.
see you, and I see you, and I see you, and I see you. Wait,
I'm under the
you can't
desk.
see my knife hand. You can't see my knife hand, right? I see you, and I see you. You, I see you.
You see me?
I see her.
Yeah.
I see you pointing at your crotch. You're telling me.
You know what makes this 10 times funnier is I'm literally having to point at my crotch just to point at Phoenix.
Like, look at me. Now look at my crotch. Look at me.
Yeah.
Look at me. Now look at, now look at your crotch. Now look at me. Now back to the crotch. Now back to me. Sadly, you're not my crotch. But I don't know if you guys know. I don't know if you guys have seen that Old Spice commercial.
I know exactly what you're talking about.
Look at me. Now look at you. Now look at me. Now back at yourself. Now back to me. Sadly, you're not me. You can smell like me if you use Old Spice. Oh, yeah. Sorry, I hit the wrong button. That one.
There you go. Okay.
I'm in Thick's usual spot, right?
We're gonna keep moving.
Yeah.
We're gonna keep moving. Yeah. Sometimes you just gotta like deal with it. and
Just
move
roll
on.
with it. Just roll with the weirdness.
Yeah.
That's
Yep. Holy multiverse menagerie of media, Batman.
Huh?
That's my segue. So DC Comics has announced that they will be developing a 3-issue prequel to the new Flash movie.
I dig this because it's going to give so much more context to what they're doing with what is happening. It's insane. Every rumor that we hear about this movie, it's going to be nice to get a little bit of context to it, you know. So
So the title is going to be The Flash, the Fastest Man Alive, and the comic will feature Ben Affleck's version of the Batman,
which I mean makes sense because this version of Barry Allen lives in the same universe as Ben Affleck. So I mean,
right?
Why wouldn't they?
And they said it was going to be Batman helping the Flash kind of master his powers.
Okay.
Like, how does the guy with no superpowers help a guy with super speed?
How does the Batman do any of that? I mean, like, the thing is like okay, another big example, right? Like look at what was the animated movie we just watched? Injustice, right? Like, look at Injustice and look at all the things that Bruce is capable of doing. Like Bruce, it's a trip that he can teach other people with superpowers how to control their powers when he has no powers.
Right.
The bat and the fish are not friends either. So I mean,
yeah, no. Well, Bruce tends not to be friends with Arthur very often.
Yeah.
So.
What is that one story about Batman finding or like having a way to defeat every one of the Justice League?
It's Justice
Tower.
League Doom.
What is it called? Was it like something
Doom?
Okay.
Yeah. So what it is that Batman has a contingency plan to stop anybody at any given time.
That's not nice.
As far as like the Justice League goes, he has how to stop Aquaman, has to stop Wonder Woman, has to stop the Green Lantern.
Paranoid, right? He's so paranoid that his whole thing is like, if any of the heroes were to turn, he has plans on how to stop them.
Right. It's super interesting.
Well, I mean, he kills Superman, technically. I don't know. They all stop Superman. But, yeah. So I guess he knew all along how to do it.
It's kryptonite. That's all you need. You just need to know. Kryptonite turns Superman human.
But does he save it? Like, I'm wondering, like, is it in his...
He carries it on his utility belt at all times. That's actually like a running thing in the comics too. Is that Bruce carries kryptonite in a lead-lined pouch on his utility belt.
Hey, buddy, I know you and I are friends, but I've got this bullet here just for you.
Yeah, it's literally, and I mean, like, you know, there have been different variations of like how he's defeated Superman in the past. In Batman v Superman, he has aerosol weaponized kryptonite, but that was also something that they took from the Dark Knight comic, and it was because Oliver Queen had a kryptonite tipped arrow.
Yeah.
Tower of Babel. That was the comic, like the story arc.
Oh yeah,
in DC. That's what I was looking for. But yeah, you're right. It's called
I
Doom.
knew you'd come up with that one.
Yeah, so the 3-issue limited series will be released in April through July and start with a 48-page first installment racing onto comic book stores April 26th.
Yeah.
I'm down with that. All right. Okay.
I'm with it. I might actually have to pick it up.
All right. Next. All right. Okay.
I need you to do the voice.
Autobots are rolling out. It has been announced that this is the last year that IDW will own the rights to Transformers and G.I. Joe for comics. Interesting.
No, I mean, that's also if IDW doesn't renew the licensing, or
they already said they're not.
Oh, then somebody's purchasing that license.
Yeah, they're letting it go. They've said it's been a great 17 years, yada yada. We're doing this wrap up of Transformers and G.I. Joe and a special G.I. Joe series and some Transformers one shots and yada yada. So they're letting it go. They're choosing to let these big franchises go.
So Barbie has to choose between driving the Bumblebee car or her boyfriend G.I. Joe.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So IDW has published Transformers comics since 2005 and G.I. Joe since 2008.
Wow.
Wow.
It'll
So
be interesting to see who gets those licenses.
yeah, so they're going to be wrapping up sometime this year with like mini story arcs and some one shots. Trying to think if there's anything major coming. I'm just looking at the notes.
Mhm.
I think G.I. Joe's going to actually have 2 series coming out.
Okay.
Ooh. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm just reading it here. And let's see. On the Joe front, the company is planning to blow out a celebration later with a milestone issue of G.I. Joe, A Real American Hero, number 300 with Larry Hama,
Oh, nice.
the veteran comic writer who launched the Joe brand with Marvel Comics in 1982.
Right.
That's
That'd be a
pretty cool.
trip if Marvel picks them back up again.
I was thinking about that.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, do they want to pay for this IP again? And then what can they do with that IP? That was my thing. Is like, what can they do with it? Do they want it?
You know who I think would do a good job with like a G.I. Joe Transformers?
Who?
Dark Horse.
Yeah.
Dark Horse. I mean, Image would be great too, but I mean, I think Dark Horse would kill it.
Mm-hmm.
They do really well with like IPs like this.
And continuity. I mean,
Yeah.
they're getting back into the Star Wars game that we
Right.
talked about. I
Oh,
don't
yeah.
know why I said that weird, but Star Wars game.
Star Wars game.
Yeah, so that'd be pretty cool. By the way, Larry Hama was almost at one of the cons like 2019, but the pandemic hit. He was supposed to be at the Intergalactic Expo
Right.
in Westack that we were gonna
That
be
we
a
were
part
supposed
of.
to go to. Right.
Yeah, super sad, but yeah, he's back on board. So, by the way, young Phil, don't worry. The My Little Pony and Dungeons and Dragons comics, based on the Hasbro brands, will still be published by IDW. So, you don't have to worry.
Oh, Phil's your brony?
I am not, but I mean, I'm not against it.
You
I'm
have a
sure-
unicorn onesie.
And I have a My Little Pony backpack, but I mean, here's the thing. I do it because it's part of the character, but I am not against watching My Little Pony and becoming a brony. The reason I haven't done it is because I'm lazy. So we're gonna go with that.
For research.
No, I'm just too lazy to actually sit there and watch the show. You know?
Okay.
But what's funny is like I'll watch Adventure Time. I watched all 7 seasons of Adventure Time.
Yeah.
For some reason, I won't start watching My Little Pony, and I don't know. I have this weird anxiety about starting new shows.
Yeah.
You know, like it's like I know I need to start something, but then I don't want to start it, but then I should start it, and just I don't know.
Fear of commitment.
Yeah.
You want to talk about it?
I mean,
Definitely.
I'm getting married, so I don't
You're
know. If I
getting
have a
married
fear
this
of
year.
That
it.
means nothing.
That's what I'm saying. Should we have a discussion?
Hmm.
You're getting deep right now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Stay here. Stay with us.
We're here for you.
You're drifting off, buddy.
Oh, sorry. Let's continue.
So reports say that Skybound, the imprint run for the Walking Dead series, so created by Robert Kirkman, is in talks to pick up both Transformers and G.I. Joe.
Okay, be interesting.
So maybe could we get Robert Kirkman doing some like G.I. Joe?
So we would. I mean, technically, Transformers has zombies in it.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
If we want to really get into what Galvatron and what
Yeah, that's a good point.
you know,
Scourge.
Scourge and like some of the other characters.
Yeah. That'd be I could totally see them like Robert Kirkman's like, "Oh, you give me GI Joe? Oh, let me do some kind of zombie outbreak in GI Joe."
Right. I mean, and what's funny is zombies would work in GI Joe.
Yeah, totally.
They would totally
Yeah.
work in GI
It's
Joe.
like Cobra screwed something up. Next thing you know, there's like an outbreak.
Right.
Oh my god, that sounds actually good.
Right.
If they made that a movie, I'd be like, all right, let's do it.
Resident Evil crossover.
Maybe.
That
It
could
would
be
work.
Raccoon City.
Like Daryl is the new GI Joe. Like Daryl and Snake Eyes.
I see Leon and who's the other? Chris Redfield. I see them actually. They could actually fit in as GI Joes.
Snake Eyes takes off his helmet and it's Michonne.
There you go.
That'd be perfect. Okay. From big robots to big monsters, Legendary Pictures is teaming up with Apple TV Plus to develop a new live-action Godzilla series.
Oh.
And the whole idea is that it's going to expand into like a monster universe,
the MonsterVerse, right? That's actually kind of dope.
I mean, it's got Apple TV Plus.
Hasn't there already been live action Godzillas?
No, but they're doing a TV show based on like the current run of the Titans and like everything that's going on. So like, you know, the movie we just got, Godzilla versus King Kong versus Godzilla, or Godzilla versus I don't remember who has top billing on that, but like in that universe, like we're gonna get more Godzilla, we're gonna get more Mecha Godzilla. We're probably gonna they probably need something long form in order to tell all the stories that live within the MonsterVerse.
Yeah. It's always weird though, like don't look at my water. It's always weird how do they relate these big, huge, gigantic monsters to like humans, and how do the humans be a part of the story?
Mothra is like a super easy way to do that.
Yeah, I always think it's a weird jump, but
yeah,
we have a Synopzilla. This series will follow the thunderous battle between Godzilla and the Titans that leveled San Francisco, and the shocking new reality that monsters are real. The Untitled series explores one family's journey. See, the human touch. The one family's journey to uncover its buried secrets and a legacy linking them to the secret organization known as Monarch. That's kind of a perfect name. So we don't have any word yet on when the new Godzilla series will be stomping onto Apple TV Plus.
I saw once someone asked if the people in San Francisco in that universe were tired of living in San Francisco because they get stomped on like every 10, 15 years.
Exactly, right?
Yeah.
Tokyo?
Sorry, I had to do it.
Ow.
The Godzilla roar has always bugged me. It always like hurts my ears.
What was it? The first Godzilla movie where they had like a joke prank on like the sound of it, the sound itself.
Mm-hmm.
I think
where he opens the fence and it's and it sounds like Godzilla roaring.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
You know,
go ahead.
I was gonna say what's funny is it's supposed to be based off what T-Rex sounded like, but then like I think about 10 years ago, scientists came out and said that doesn't like sound. That's not what T-Rex sounded like at all.
Mm-hmm.
Based off how T-Rex's throat looked like.
Yeah, they 3D printed the
vocal
cords.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
and it sounds exactly like what they're saying it is, a giant chicken.
Yeah.
So imagine just like you have a giant.
That'd be terrifying, though. Can you imagine a giant chicken? Ah!
I think that's more scary than a giant lizard screaming at you that sounds like a monster. Like a giant chicken sounds fucking terrifying.
You see the size of that chicken? Name that movie. You see the size of that chicken?
I feel dumb right now.
Yeah.
'Cause I'm wanted, dead or alive.
Do chickens have large talons?
It's from Young Guns when they're all hopped up on peyote. He's all shooting in the air. He's like, "You see the size of that chicken?" Anyway, all right, moving on.
I need to rewatch that movie. It's been a while.
From the
It's a
MonsterVerse
fucking great movie,
to
by the way.
a galaxy far, far away.
This I'm excited for.
Here we go.
Stupid excited for this. I'm gonna let James speak.
Sure.
Yes.
Okay. EA has announced that they're teaming up with Lucas Games for 3, not 1, not 2, but 3 new games set in the Star Wars universe.
Yeah. Now the big deal on this one is Respawn Entertainment will be leading the development and the production of a new project with Vincent Zampella the group GM and founder of Respawn Entertainment, overseeing the next phase of EA's relationship with Lucasfilm. If you guys are unfamiliar with Respawn, Respawn Entertainment was
That's an awesome name for a gaming company, though.
yeah, but I'm trying to Activision.
Blizzard.
No, they were the company, the original company that developed the modern Call of Duty. I'm trying to remember the name of the company.
Oh, Apex Legends, Titanfall, Titanfall 2. Okay. Medal of Honor.
And I mean, yeah, no, those are the games that they're making now.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's what Respawn Entertainment's doing now.
But they're making 3 games. That's kind of cool. And they're all like 3 different games, not like, 3 games in the same series. They're all different games, based in the Star Wars universe.
mhm.
That's kind of
Infinity Ward.
Yeah.
So Infinity Ward, there was like a mass exodus a few years back, almost 10 years now, where like everybody at Infinity Ward got fired and they like redid the entire company structure. Well, all the people who got fired from Infinity War went and remade a new company called Respawn Entertainment. And their whole argument was, the only reason that Call of Duty is successful at all is because of the development team that they had. And they were like, we're valuable, so we're going to go and make Respawn Entertainment, and we're going to show you guys that we are the shit, essentially. And the first game out of the gate was Titanfall, and then kind of proved that like they make really good games. Titanfall 2 didn't do as well, but Apex Legends is their big thing right now. And that's like a huge, huge following right now. And Apex Legends lives in the same universe as Titanfall.
pretty cool.
Mhm.
So they're a staple in
Right.
the industry.
Right, and they're now the ones that are developing the next Star Wars game. So I'm excited for that.
So check out this game lineup. So it's confirmed that one of the games they're developing is a sequel to Jedi Fallen Order.
Right. They announced this a while back. They greenlit they were going to be doing a follow up to Fallen Order, which makes sense. I don't know. I'm not going to try. I'm not going to spoil anything because it just came out today, and we're not talking about this episode today. But
Mhm.
a character from the first Fallen Order game shows up in
Book of Boba.
Book of Boba.
Yep.
And I'm actually interested in like, how did he get on Tatooine?
Oh, I know exactly how he got on Tatooine.
Unless it's a completely different droid, but I mean, he even had the same name, so it's almost like I don't know.
I don't know what you're talking about. I'm gonna have to go back and watch that episode. Oh, got it. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Sorry. So, sequel to Jedi Fallen Order. The second one will be some kind of first-person Star Wars shooter. So a little pew pew, right? That's right up your alley.
I wonder if it's gonna be like along the same lines as Battlefield or Battlefront, or unless they're like are they doing another Battlefront game, or are they trying to do something completely different?
Good point. That was a big game, right?
Battlefront's huge.
Yeah.
There were 2 of them, right?
Yeah.
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 And-
Battlefront is. I have Battlefront. It's a great game.
Wait, so
Oh.
is it like a first-person shooter, or are they doing dogfights too?
It says all they said it was a first-person shooter.
Okay.
That's all we know so far. And then the third game is going to be a strategy game.
Ooh.
So what is a strategy game like?
It depends. I mean, there's a couple of different types of strategy games that are out there. If it's an RTS, like if it's a real-time strategy game, it's more like StarCraft or World of Warcraft,
Okay.
which there is a game called, I want to say Star Wars Galaxies, or I used to have it, but I mean, basically there was an RTS that you could play as like Star Wars characters, and then you had hero characters and stuff.
like do like different missions and
Right.
level up and things like that.
And the idea was that like you play as the Empire and you're trying to like build the Imperial Armada.
Oh,
And you're like going from planet to planet, and you're like taking over planets. So then you have hero characters, like you can hire Boba Fett, or you can send Vader down and stuff like that.
interesting.
So it was a pretty pretty fun game. Or I mean, the only other strategy games would be like, like mobile games tend to have like, strategy games, like tower defense games and stuff like that. I'm
Oh,
hoping
okay.
that that's not what they're doing, because that just I feel like those games are just cheap and they're just like loot box stuff.
I don't know.
Because I'm so into those weird like tower games. I'm like, oh, let me.
But the thing
Let me
is
You don't like League of Legends? I mean, that's a
No.
tower game.
no, but what I'm saying is, if it's like one of those, like if it's a mobile game that they're developing, I mean, EA is already known for putting shitty loot boxes in games and like creating games that are pay to play, and I don't like that kind of stuff.
No.
Cool.
So I'm hoping that that's not what they're doing. I'm hoping they're actually going to do like a full on game.
You know that's what's going to be, because the pay to play has just been blowing up.
Yeah.
So we might find out soon, because all 3 games are like in the process now. Not
Right.
like, hey, we're gonna do this. It's like they've all broken ground
Right.
on all these.
Right.
So I'm into that. That's pretty cool. So maybe they need some beta testers.
Maybe. I
That'd be
don't know
nice.
where I sign up for that.
So no dates on when we will say
Hello there.
to any of these games. I'm getting hungry.
Always hungry, man.
Who's hangry?
I'm hangry.
I'm hangry.
But how hangry? How hangry?
Very hangry.
I'm gonna throw this out there. After you see what we're about to talk about right now, you may not be angry.
This story will test your hangriness.
Yeah, it really
Right?
will. This is so
No.
weird.
Okay, so McDonald's, you know how they have like, especially international, like McDonald's International, is full of all kinds of like crazy, unique kind of menu items that are specific to the location. Like you can get a spam burger at at the Hawaii
Yeah.
McDonald's, kind of
Yeah,
thing.
yeah.
Or spam musubi at the McDonald's in Hawaii. This one's going to be a little interesting. So
I'm going to Hawaii. Excuse me. I'm going to Hawaii.
Spam musubi at McDonald's, right?
Yeah.
So there's a new ice cream flavor that McDonald's in Thailand are going to be introducing. So McDonald's is about to debut this chili paste pork ice cream in participating Thailand restaurants.
The ice cream machine would have to be working for them to give that out.
It's true.
Yeah.
But the thing is maybe they work in Thailand. I think they just don't work in the US.
It just sounds crazy that you're putting all these verbs and adjectives together, Chili, paste, pork, ice cream. Okay.
Well,
Chili, pork, and ice cream.
chili paste makes sense. Pork flavored chili paste ice cream.
Uh-huh. So here's a sweet and savory synopsis.
Sweet and savory synopsis.
The dessert offers McDonald's signature vanilla soft serve covered in a chili paste sauce and shredded pork floss,
I'm done.
which is dried Asian meat
I'm done.
on top of the food. Bye. See you later. So that was it. He lost Bill. He's gonna. I guess this is it. So the flavor combination will be like a rich, spicy, and meaty taste on the ice cream. Come on.
I mean, I'd probably
Come
give
on.
it a try. I was raised with a nana or grandma, who I call her nana, who grew up in Hong Kong, and loved to give me things that I'd be like, oh no. So
She
I
Asian?
probably she was born in Hong Kong, not Asian. Well, not completely.
Okay.
Yeah, she was born in Hong Kong, and she would give me all sorts of things growing up that I'd be like, bleh. But then when you try it, it's pretty good. So I mean, it's worth a try just once, like just like a taste, and I'll probably never get to. 'Cause I'm American, but
Chili pork ice cream. You gotta taste it at least once.
yeah,
I'm down with it. I wish they had it here because I would
Yeah.
buy it for
Yeah.
Philippe, because that
oh,
would
I
be
would too. I would too.
That
We're
would
having
be.
a distance nerding ice cream social.
Are you experimental when it comes to food? Like, are you
Oh,
willing
yeah.
to try things, or are you like, no, I can't get that out of my face, can't eat it?
Big time. Big time.
Which one? Which?
I'm very experimental. I'll try anything because like when I was living in Portland, Oregon, there were so many places that offered things you could go around the world with food.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'll try it at least once, even if I go spit it in a trash can after.
Oh, that's rude. At least eat it.
Yeah.
At least
Wow.
hit your belly, give it the grumbles,
No, some things just.
pay for it the next day, but you got to try it at least once.
Mm,
I'm saying.
no.
I want to say that I'm brave when it comes to food. I
Mhm.
just have certain things I'm like, nope, I decided I don't like it. Like, I don't like tripe. You know what I mean? Like, I don't want
I'll
to.
try it.
I don't want it. Too spongy.
I'll try it. Yeah.
You know? But I'll try something, even if it's hot. I'll try it, and I'm not a big like hot spicy guy.
I like menudo and stuff, which surprises people. Let's see. I don't like yams, and so I mean, everybody's got their thing.
You don't like yams? Too starchy?
Mm-hmm.
But you like a potato?
Yeah, I like potatoes.
Aren't you Irish?
Yeah, my potatoes should not be sweet.
Oh, that's what it is.
Yeah.
Like you're a potato purist.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I see where you're going. See, that makes sense. That makes sense. Like, okay, I'm Asian. Give me that rice. Like, I look at people sideways when like they take the rice that I make, that I slave over by turning the rice cooker on, and they put like butter on it, or like my brother-in-law came over and he's like, wow, you make really good rice. I'm like, fuck yeah, I do. Like,
yeah.
But then he's like, do you have any milk and sugar? I'm like, get out of my house. Like, you don't put milk and sugar on rice.
What?
Get out of here. You right? Yeah, that makes like a pudding or something.
Yeah.
Hispanic shirt?
What?
Are we talking Hispanic shirt?
No, we're just talking about, I don't know.
He wants milk and sugar on rice. I've tried that. Some Asian restaurants do that for like dessert.
Yeah, but like,
Mhm.
Well, I'm saying Latinos, we do that.
yeah, I just like for a dessert.
Yeah.
But he was
I
like,
like it.
hot steamy rice. Give me my milk.
But it's not like regular milk. It's like sweet milk.
Yeah, like a condensed milk.
I was gonna say that's like if you've ever had horchata is just basically rice water.
Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly.
yeah.
Exactly. I don't know. It's just weird when like people make rice into pudding or something like that. That throws me
Rice
off.
pudding, you
Rice
mean?
pudding?
Yeah, I don't like it. I don't like it.
I mean, it's in what are the drinks that we had at the recent anniversary we went to. I'm drawing a blank on the Asian drinks. Yeah, they have beans
book of?
and it's got. No, it's like it's the drink. It's Asian. It's like it's got beans and it's Filipino actually. And
Halo
it's
halo?
got halo. I didn't
Okay.
think I'd like
You
those at
consider halo halo?
all.
What'd you say?
Do you consider halo halo a drink?
No, it's like a dessert. But
Yeah,
I see
I
what
was
she was
gonna
going.
say that's like
Yeah.
snow and ice cream, man.
Yeah, I see where she was going with it. Dude, I had some. Where was I? I had some ubi ice cream the other day. Oh, it was so good. I loved it. You know that really, really like you saying you didn't like yams, but like it's made out of taro root, so it's like really super
Okay.
purpley.
Mhm.
Oh, it was so good. It's like it brings back my childhood. I was like, oh, it's so good. And then Coco, my youngest daughter, her favorite color is purple, and she saw it. She's like, "Is that for me?" I'm like, "Okay, I guess it's not for dad anymore." And they handed it to her, and she was like, "Oh," and she just grabbed it. I'm like, "Okay, I respect that."
Yeah, at least she enjoys it.
Yeah, get back to your roots. I like it.
Yeah.
I like it.
ha. I see what you did there.
Yeah,
Get back to your roots.
Fruits.
because it's a root. By the way, back to the chili paste pork ice cream.
I'm gonna go throw up.
And we're gonna go feed him.
It's only available until Tuesday, April 5th. So we all better get to Thailand
Yeah.
so we can try this,
I'll go to Thailand.
right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Get it in Thailand while it's hot. And that's all the news.
That's how the cookie crumbled.
I got some rumors. You guys want to do
You got some rumors.
Start.
I'm all for the rumors. Starting rumors.
There we go.
Starting rumors. Okay. That's like enough, like off of what it is where we can't get sued for it. So
That is my favorite version already.
starting rumors. Starting rumors.
The look that comes over your face when you do it
Starting rumors.
kind of freaks me out.
We should just clip that and make it our.
That's what freaks me out. Like the chat has gone silent because of the rumors.
The chat's been silent for like an hour.
Well, I think
I
it's.
know.
I think I scared people away with the chili paste pork ice
Oh
cream.
no, that's 100%. That's what happened.
I apologize for that. I apologize. Okay, rumors. Let's get into rumors. Sony slash. I don't know if I can say MCU. Sony slash. Marvel?
So it's still they're consciously uncoupling, and at the same time it's a will they or won't they thing.
This story, we had an entire conversation about this on in the post. It was just
So it's weird, but Sony Pictures is pretty far along in the development of a Spider-Man spin-off for Madam Web.
This is not MCU in any way. by
That's
the
what
way.
I was like. I was
Yeah.
about to say MCU. I'm like,
No, this is specifically Sony's Spider-Verse. That's what they changed it to, right?
So Sony's going like this to Marvel right now.
Sony is like, we want to make money that is not related to Marvel MCU. And by doing so, we're going to make a bunch of movies that are Spider-Man adjacent, that don't have Spider-Man in them, but are Spider-Man characters. Right? This is our Venoms, which they just added into the MCU, but like these are our Venoms and our
Kraven.
Well, Kraven is in development right now, but more Morbius, right? You know,
I mean, is it a spoiler if we talk about what happened at the end of Spider-Man?
I mean, kind of. I don't know.
yeah, it's not the point of the story though.
Yeah,
But I was gonna bring up the fact that they came back, right? And now we're maybe gonna see them again, and it's that universe.
supposedly, and this is another rumor that I don't think we've written down, but supposedly that version of Venom is supposed to be in, what's his name? The other Spider-Man, not Tobey Maguire, but
Andrew.
Andrew Garfield. He's supposed to be a
Mhm.
part of Andrew Garfield's universe.
That's what I think it was.
Mm-hmm.
I think they were all part of like Andrew Garfield's or Toby's.
Well, and
universe.
they're saying specifically now Andrew Garfield's universe because they've been talking about bringing Andrew Garfield's Spider-Man back.
Mhm.
Huh.
Mhm. Which would be cool. But are they making a Madam Web movie / spinoff?
So
thing.
this was confirmed a while back that they were
Yeah.
developing Madam Web.
They've even got toys out.
But I guess
that
they're
are-
supposed to start production this year.
Yeah. Again, this is one of those things where it's like, I don't know why. Like, Morbius is a bigger character than Madam Web.
Yeah.
Morbius like makes sense because he actually is a known character.
Mhm.
He's one of those characters where it's like, even if you don't know all of the characters from Spider-Man, Morbius is a name that's come up before,
Right.
right? Madam Web, people barely know who she is.
Yeah. Yeah. And it's not like she's a central character
At
to
all.
things. She's more like trying to think of somebody in like another universe that would be similar. It'd be like making a whole movie
Wolverine.
about the Oracle in the Matrix. You
Yeah.
know, she's just there to like help the story along, but instead she gets a whole movie. So we're getting a whole Madam Web movie.
Yeah, I thought you were gonna say Oracle as in like Batgirl. And it's like, I mean, even then,
Yeah.
like most people don't know who like her Oracle days. They know her as Batgirl, but they don't
Yeah.
know like who she is when she's Oracle. and that's supposed to be like post Joker shot her and severed her spine. So
yeah.
now she's a cripple, but at the same time, she's still useful to Batman because she basically becomes who Alfred used to be.
She's the guy in the chair
Exactly.
for like Ned from
Feeding,
Spider-Man.
Oh yeah, exactly. Feeding him all the information.
So just to get everybody up to speed, Madam Webb, also known as Cassandra Webb, usually depicted as like an elderly blind woman who has some kind of neuromuscular disease and is like hooked up to a lot of, I don't know, technology.
Yeah.
I don't know. And she has like difficulty breathing, yada yada. But she's like clairvoyant and precognitive. So it's like she's predicting things. And isn't she connected to like the multiverse as well?
Yeah.
Like she's at the center of like the Spider-Verse.
I mean, and that's the thing, is that she is part of like Amazing Spider-Man. So it's like, you know, she's such a minor character.
So weird, huh? So
I don't see how they're gonna do an entire production on Madam Web.
I think we can speculate that all night long. So real quick, tacos on the table. Are we getting a Madam Web movie in production this year? Go Phoenix.
Tacos are fully on the table here. Yeah, because I think Sony is trying so hard to consciously uncouple, and mom and dad are getting a divorce, and you know they're trying to be the cool parent over here. So,
got it. How about you, young Phil?
100%. They're the movie is probably going into production. It's been in pre-production for like the last year. They announced it like when they started announcing that we're gonna do a Morbius movie and we're gonna do Kraven the Hunter and we're gonna do Black Cat and Silver Sable and all that kind of stuff. Like Madam Web was another character that they announced. And again, I was just like, why Madam Web? She's not that big of a character.
Let's move on because I got a juicier one.
I have a feeling, that COVID had something to do with it. We may have even seen her before Morbius if COVID hadn't hit.
Yeah,
maybe.
Well, like I remember them starting to talk about her after they announced Black Cat and Silver Sable, which since has like gone out of production and they're not making that anymore. So it's like,
at all? If they're done,
it got shelved. I'm sure that at some point they're going to bring them back up, but I mean, like, yeah, it got shelved, put on the shelf because I think now they're talking about doing Gwen Stacy. So
that would be good.
Just because Gwen Stacy has gotten so big in the last couple of years, they're just like, oh, we can do Spider Woman, or I guess Gwen Stacy, Gwen Stacy Spider-Man. But I mean, like, they're saying like that now they can do that, especially now that like they have the new Spider-Man and his friends on Disney Plus, and she's like a main character on that. And she was in Spider-Verse, and they're talking about doing the Women of the Spider-Verse. So now they shelved Black Cat and Silver Sable in favor of possibly doing a Gwen Stacy Spider-Woman movie.
I'd be down with that.
Yeah, I'd be okay with that. Again, my only issue is just I don't feel like Sony has a grip on what it is that they want to do with this Spider-Man universe, and I don't feel like they're going to do it right. They've dropped the ball so many times with Spider-Man that I don't feel like they're going to do justice to the characters.
Just because they shouldn't doesn't mean they won't.
No, I know that. That's what I'm saying. As much as I don't want them to do it, they're going to do it.
Yeah.
But I mean, we get like Into the Spider-Verse, and that's like the blueprint of how to bring Spider-Man out in this day and age.
But the thing is that Sony is willing to do more with animation because they don't care as much about animation.
Right.
You know what I mean? So they're like they'll do like the only reason that Into the Spider-Verse worked was because they took their hands out of it and said, hey, you guys can do what you want. It's animation. Nobody's gonna watch this. Nobody cares. That's the attitude that Sony has, right? And then it is a complete hit. And then they get a sequel, and Sony is hopefully they're keeping their hands out of the second movie too, and it's like just let them do their thing, you know. But that's the thing, is that they're like a lot of these studios get the wrong ideas when things are a hit, you know. It's like a lot of times they'll say it's a hit, we need to redo Lightning in a Bottle, but they don't know what made the lightning strike in the first place.
You gotta add my notes to it, and it'll make it that much better.
Right. It's like like Warner Brothers does it all the time. you know, where it's like, hey, we had one movie that was good, so let's try and recreate everything we did with this movie. Or, you know, their problem is they're trying to recreate the MCU, and it's like, and they're trying to do it faster, and it's like, don't do that. You have to build your universe from the ground up.
Yeah.
You know, but they want the money now, and they're not willing to wait the time to build a good story. I think Sony has that same problem.
I think so.
Mhm.
Speaking of problem, I felt like my head was too small compared to your head, so I had to move up closer to the camera because I was like, so I want my head to be as big as young Phil's head, so my head's gonna be bigger. Oh, I got some pores going.
Oh wow.
Let's. Wow, that's how you gotta do like the next stream. Just
Pretty
like
eyes.
Just
Look
the
at
next
that.
stream.
Look at that. Dude, you're such long eyelashes.
I know. Again, people don't realize my eyes are green, so it's just like,
are they?
hi.
I'm not looking deep
From
in
like
your eyes.
far away, it's like, oh yeah, no, they don't look that green, and then you look at them and say, oh my god, they are.
Have you stared deeply into his eyes lately? You should.
Oh no, I don't want to do it.
Uh-oh.
Oh, yeah, they are, huh? Anyway,
Sorry, I'm weird. It's okay. Let's go.
more rumors. I got some juicy Star Wars rumors.
Yes.
Ooh.
Book of Boba Fett. We've seen almost like a parade of aliens and droids throughout Book of Boba Fett, which that's cool. Everybody, it gets a deep cut on some of them. It's pretty cool to see all these different types of characters, you know, especially in like the streets of Tatooine and in what is it, the Sanctuary and whatnot.
Tatooine.
So there was a recent interview that Tamora Morrison did, and he was asked about Ewoks, and his answer was, "I like those Ewoks. They were great to work with. They were funny. And I'm like, you haven't
What?
seen any Ewoks?
Yeah.
Are we gonna get Ewoks in Book of Boba?
Or maybe, and this is a possibility.
Wait. Before you go there, like, are
Oh.
we gonna get Ewoks in Book of Boba? We got 2 more episodes now.
Mhm.
You know, what do you guys think?
Oh.
Don't go on yet. Slow it down. Slow it down there, Green Eyes. One thing at a time.
Mhm.
Green Eye Dragon.
Exactly.
Just curious, are you keeping up every Wednesday with your
Every Tuesday night at midnight.
yeah.
Okay. This is just, there's a possibility that Tamora is mixing up Ewoks with Jawas.
Yeah.
Why did you say that?
Yeah.
Because it happens.
Yeah.
I guess.
That's what I'm saying. There's a possibility.
I thought you were gonna say he's mixed up Wookiees and Ewoks.
No.
No. Yeah, and like, I am trying so hard because you get what I'm saying now. You and I. Yeah.
Yeah.
So answer the question at hand. Talk about the question at
Because
hand.
then we go full spoilers. The most recent episode, there is a certain thing that appears, and we think that they were mixed up with Ewoks.
But I mean, okay. To be fair, they're on a planet that are full of Jawas.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, that's what I'm saying. Like, you know, there's a high level chance that he just mixed up Ewoks with Jawas.
Yeah.
Now, it could also be a lead on. We have 2 more episodes left. There could be a bunch of Ewoks that show up in the cantina.
Yeah.
Wait, why can't they
Right.
go get a drink?
They just
The
walk.
dangerous little bears. Yeah.
It's hot on Tatooine.
Yeah, exactly. You know, and when you're a cannibal teddy bear.
Yeah.
Maybe they're the ones that put the stormtrooper helmets
Ah.
on the pikes, like
That's true because that's what they did on Endor.
Yeah.
like a
Yeah.
little barbecue. They had a little barbecue, you know, a little
Yep,
cookout.
Yep.
I can't.
Each one guy. And then all of a sudden, you know, it's like, oh, what are we gonna do with these helmets? Let's put them on a pike while we cook this barbecue feast, right? Some tri-tip stormtrooper.
Fun fact: you guys know the Ewok language is an actual language, right?
Mm-hmm. You can learn it on, I think,
TikTok. Say TikTok. You can learn it on TikTok.
you can. Oh, I'm trying to think what the website's called.
You know what
Yeah.
language it is, right?
MySpace.
Yeah. Yeah.
No.
It's a local Chinese dialect.
Is it really?
What?
It's a local tribal Chinese dialect.
What do you mean local? Like
In China.
Like
There was like
Vallejo? What do you mean local?
No, so there was like a village that they went to that
That's not local.
well, I mean not local to us, but I mean like it's one of those like it's like a so in China, of course, the two
We
main
shoot
languages
this episode in Taiwan. It's okay, guys.
in China, there's two main languages, right? You have Mandarin and Cantonese, right? A lot of times in rural China, there are languages that aren't that are different languages that aren't Mandarin or Cantonese.
Yeah. I feel you.
Yeah. One of the Ewok language is a Chinese dialect that's not Mandarin or Cantonese.
Interesting. I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Now
I remember because what it was Lucas was touring for Empire, and when he was touring through China, they stopped by this village, and he like heard this language and was like, I need to put this in a movie.
What? I'm gonna have to look that up.
There's an interview with him that where
I
he
don't
talks
even
about
know
it.
if my tacos are on the table for your story.
Yeah, no, like I said, there was there's an interview for it about that where they talk about like how they came up with the language for the Ewoks.
I don't know about that one. I'm gonna have to look that one up. That sounds super interesting.
Then
So-
I am going to be learning that language. That'd be interesting.
Tacos on the table. Are we getting Ewoks in Book of Boba? Yes or
No.
no? You say no. Tacos are on the table. Young Phil, Mr. Ewok language.
Half a taco.
Like a local Cantonese taco?
Yes.
Okay. Half a taco. I don't think that was
Local
allowed,
Cantonese taco.
but I guess we're going to allow it. Okay, let's spin this. He's talking about Ewoks. Tamora's talking about Ewoks. Another theory about this is that Tamora may have filmed some sequences for another project that took place on the forest moon of Endor.
I can believe that. Now there I can believe because the certain reappearance of characters are about to come back, and we know that Boba is about to come, or that Mandalorian is about to come back. And of course, I have a theory that we're going to see Boba more in the Mandalorian. The Mandalorian comes back, so I mean, it's believable that we could go see our favorite little cannibalistic teddy bears.
Right. So, just as a reminder, the finale of Star Wars Rebels confirmed that Captain Rex was a clone
Mhm.
of Jango Fett, played by Tamora Morrison, had assisted in the Rebels in the Battle of Endor. Like he was a ground trooper on Endor. Oh, interesting. I see what you're doing there. Pretty cool. Now go look that up. Let's go find some stuff. So,
Okay, what I'm showing him right now, and I'm just kind of jumping back, but the Ewok language in Star Wars is based on which human languages? Tibetan and Kalmaic Oryat.
Ooh.
Eorat. I don't know how to pronounce that.
it's the first thing you don't know how to pronounce.
To the ears of native, I know, right? To the ears of native English speakers with no other language instruction, the high-pitched language spoken by the Ewoks in the Star Wars universe sounds more like gibberish. For many Star Wars viewers around the world, however, it was possible to pick up bits of actual conversation in the chattering of the diminutive tree dwellers. The Ewok language was created by Return of the Jedi sound designer Ben Burt by creating a pseudo-pidgin language based primarily on Tibetan, the language of the Tibet Autonomous Region of the People's Republic of China, and Kalmaic Oryat, the language of Kalmaic people, a group of Mongolian descendants found today in the Republic of Kalmaic on a western shore in the Caspian Sea. Bert used recordings of native speakers and these languages as a basis for sounds that became the Ewok language and were performed by voice actors who imitated the native language voices in different styles to create the distinctive Ewok chatter. For the scene in which C-3PO speaks Ewokese, actor Anthony Daniels worked with Bert and developed words based on the recordings.
Very cool.
Mhm.
That does not answer if your tacos are on the table.
Tell
I
him you're
said
very angry.
What?
I said half a taco on the table.
For
Ewoks are going to show up in Book of Boba.
no, the other part of that, the Endor part where Tamora has filmed like Endor scenes.
Oh.
The part that you didn't listen to, it was that part where we get Tamora back as Captain Rex.
Oh, okay. That makes sense. Yes.
Thank you.
And that's probably going to end up being in
Ahsoka. That makes sense.
Yeah.
Like a little like shifting of.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. Like Tamora playing clones.
Right.
Especially because now that they've confirmed that Rex was on Endor. So
yeah.
I'll give it 5 out of 10 pork tacos.
Pork tacos. Oh,
hello there.
Hello there. My tacos are definitely on the table for that.
Got it.
I think at some point, whether it's something soon or not, they're gonna show Rex on Endor.
I think so.
Yeah.
It'll be a weird flashback, but why not? We've got flashbacks of everything. Let's do it.
But I mean, especially since they've already talked about it being canon, like we're gonna see it at some point.
Yeah.
I would say they hinted towards it in the animated series, so why wouldn't they?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And Ahsoka seems like they're going to be pulling a lot of stuff from Rebels. So I mean,
oh yeah. Definitely.
Does that mean that Ahsoka was there on Endor? That's
no,
what I'm curious about.
Because it does the story itself does take place post Jedi.
Mm-hmm.
I think it might be like they're going to show Rex and Ahsoka linking back up, and then she's going to ask him like, hey, where have you been? What are the things you've been about on? And he's going to explain the story of Endor.
I like it. That makes sense.
If she's even alive, we hear her voice. Rey hears her voice, and yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So,
well, again, I mean, the Ahsoka series itself takes place in the same time as Mandalorian.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, that means it takes place, 8 years after the events of Jedi?
5 years after the Battle of Endor.
Right there. So 5 years after the Battle of Endor. So, I mean, if it's 5 years, again, like at this point, within 10 years, because there might be another time jump, but like within 10 years of the Battle of Endor, I'm sure it's going to be like I just said, like Captain Rex is going to link back up with Ahsoka, and she's going to be like, hey, what have you been up to? And he's going to say, well, I fought in this war, and explain the Battle of Endor. And it's not going to be like the full Battle of Endor. It's just going to be his like actions during the Battle of Endor.
Yeah.
I dig it. That's all the rumors I got. Let's move on. Just 2 rumors. Well, 2.5. It was 2.5.
So what we got, I'm excited for this next thing, but are we doing a breakdown?
Let's break it down.
Break it down.
She don't know.
Yeah.
She don't know.
Yeah, she's too young.
Book of Boba, episode 4, The Gathering Storm.
Yes.
So this was kind of a unique episode. We've gotten a lot of flashbacks throughout the show.
Right.
But this was pretty much one long flashback for the most part.
Yeah.
And it was showing the moments where Boba came in contact and kind of before that with Fennec and how they met, how they developed their relationship.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
What was your initial thoughts of this episode? Because it was kind of just a character building piece.
It kind of was.
I felt like it should have been earlier than this.
That's a good point. Yeah.
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 I dug the whole episode. Like the whole thing is every episode. It's almost like how it is with Mandalorian, right? It's like every episode ramps up and every episode gives me something new that attaches me more to the show. And I know like we have people like Aaron who just does not like this, but it's more so because he doesn't like Boba,
Mm-hmm.
right? But I mean, like, I feel like the story it draws me in more and more every week, and to do something like this where we're getting the past and kind of like what Boba's been dealing with, you
Mhm.
know, and kind of like, you know, up to the point where we're at, like I dug it.
Mhm.
What did you think, Phoenix?
I really liked it. Like I said, it should have been done earlier, because it you're looking at Shinnick, and you know, we know that he saved her life. Yeah, sure, okay, but she was this badass, you know, bounty hunter, and then all of a sudden she's like, you know, let's bow down to the king. It didn't make sense up until now. So
Like,
I
why
feel
she
like,
was so indebted to
yeah,
him?
yeah. I mean, and yeah, like he saved her life, but you know, after that, what happened with Boba, you would have been like sayonara, but now you get it.
It's almost a trip seeing like there's been no reason to believe that she has any kind of, like, you know, droid parts or anything like that, and that she has like mechanical like
Mods.
mods, you know,
Mhm.
that she's modded, and that's what's keeping her alive.
Mm-hmm.
So I thought that was kind of cool.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, she shows it a little bit, like for a flash of a second, when she first shows up again in Mandalorian.
Yeah.
But
He's like, I'm alive, sucker.
yeah, well,
Right.
she shows you like her belly and stuff, like you see it for a flash, but you don't really think about it. You're like, oh, okay, you know, because they start so it, like, you know, the action just starts from there, and you don't think about it again. But then you realize that she was severely, with that scene, she was severely altered, with all the parts and the wires and the she's a bit like Darth Vader now, as far as modifications.
How did she live that long? Like, like going from like, okay, you've been shot, laying on the ground and on Tatooine, to like being carried by a bantha,
Yeah.
which is not like it's a cheetah or something,
Yeah.
to some other random like mechanic shop for the most part, and to get stitched together. It was so weird. I'm like, I guess.
I think that was
Oh,
trying
burn.
to show that how close to death she was, how long
Yeah.
they've waited to get help.
Right.
Yeah,
He's like, give her priority. She's gonna die.
he's like,
Yeah.
lead with that.
Yeah.
I know. I will give you credits.
We have some Easter eggs
Mm-hmm.
in this.
I'm excited to get on these Easter eggs, though.
So we got I don't know if it's like an Easter egg really, but it's more like an homage.
Mhm.
But the whole Boba riding a bantha,
Yeah.
across the Dune Sea, it had like a lot of like New Hope vibes to it, like
It did.
original Star Wars vibes to it, which, you know, makes sense being on Tatooine. And I just kind of dug that little bit. Like, they didn't need to do it,
Right.
but I'm just like, okay, we're in this world. Like, I'm down with that. So that was kind of cool. You know, especially even like there was like a bantha skeleton,
Yeah.
which reminded me of like, what was that, like a dragon, some kind of
The Great Dragon.
crate
Great
dragon,
dragon,
you know, skeleton in the original movie. I'm like, oh, it's kind of a little homage to it. So I kind
That
of dug
things
that.
die in the Great Dune Sea.
Exactly. So and then we got a lot of aliens. We talked about
Yeah.
aliens earlier, but we're getting more droids, more aliens, Trandoshans. We'll talk more about
The Trandoshans.
Transdoshans later.
And the Aqualish and the Clatoonians.
But this next one, I didn't really think about it. So we know Tatooine has twin suns,
Right.
Mhm.
but I guess it also has like triplet moons. And
Right.
like, and I guess that was from
Yeah.
the books or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
They totally didn't need to show it, but they showed it.
Right.
There was like one scene where they were like panning through the sky, and it was like, you know, dark. And they showed the 3 moons of Tatooine. I'm like, oh, that's kind of cool.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of dig that.
It's like, how often do you see night scenes on Tatooine, right? So it's kind of cool, you know, that they're kind of throwing in these Easter eggs from the books and everything. It's pretty cool.
Yeah. So they were first named in like a 2015 Star Wars, like one of those encyclopedia books.
Mhm.
They were called. It was Star Wars. Absolutely everything you need to know,
Right.
and they named the 3 moons.
The Ring Storm.
Yeah. So it was like, oh, that's kind of cool that they put it in there. So like, Filoni totally deep cutting everything,
And that's what he does. Is he always does like super deep cuts. Like if you're not paying attention to the books and the comics and everything, you're gonna miss something.
Yeah, exactly. Speaking of missing something, going back to the whole Boba, first finding Fennec Shand.
Right.
Shand. Did you notice there was a slight difference from the version that we saw in Mandalorian?
I did notice that.
Mm-hmm.
And it was the sound design.
Not only the sound design, but also what Boba's wearing. Because when you see him walk up in the first episode, and in the
Mando?
Gunslinger and Mando, like it's like clearly his boots.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I don't remember that. But you hear, so going back to
And
it,
you
so
hear the spurs, right?
you hear the spurs, which are kind of for Star Wars synonymous with Boba Fett.
Right.
That you hear spurs, right?
Boba Fett.
But in this,
Boba Fett.
whoa,
There's
knocking
nothing
over bottles.
It's okay. There's nothing in it. It's empty. It's empty.
Right as you did the,
Boba Fett.
you knocked over a bottle on my computer. I'm like, ah. Anyway,
It was empty. Okay.
I didn't know that.
We're okay.
I didn't
Everything's all right. Crisis averted.
Well then,
We can go back to doing the news.
sorry about your seat.
Yes, I just peed myself.
The spur sound was gone from this episode.
It was there. I was listening for it.
It wasn't like the same sound.
It was a lot more subtle.
Yeah.
So like in Gunslinger, it was like very pronounced, and you could hear the spurs. And that's why a lot of people were like, "It's got to be Boba Fett." There's nobody else that it would be. It's got to be Boba Fett. I specifically, when that scene came on, I was listening for it because the main thing was I noticed the boots that he's wearing in this scene, and I was like, he's not wearing any spurs. How's he gonna make the spurs sound, right?
Yeah.
And then when he hopped off
Very
the
light.
well, yeah, when he hopped off off the freaking
Bantha.
Bantha. I was listening for his feet because I was like, are they gonna do the sound? And it was a very subtle, but you could hear the spurs though.
Ah, okay. Yeah, I didn't like hear it, so maybe I just have to listen to it again. But it definitely was different.
Yeah, I was paying attention to it because again, knowing Boba Fett and being that he's one of my favorite characters, there's always certain things that I listen for on screen when you see that character, and that was like, I was like, are they going to take the spur sound away because he's not wearing anything that would like give that sound, and they was still there. So I was like, okay, so I mean, they're at least acknowledging that that sound is synonymous with Boba Fett when he walks.
Right.
Yeah.
So Boba takes Fennec to a modder, like, or whatever. Right. So we see the modder, and he's like working on somebody's, I don't know, whatever, back. It almost looks like a tattoo parlor.
It did. It very much reminded me of that.
That's what I was going to ask you guys, if that reminded you of like, is this like young adults trying to figure out like how to be different? Almost like people have different tattoos these days. People are like modding themselves in the Star Wars universe.
Right.
Like it gives you like certain abilities, right? Like you even looked at the girl and like she was getting her back done or whatever. And it makes you wonder, like, what does that do? Does it, is it making her faster or like, yeah, because like if you haven't noticed, like they all had some sort of modification that gave them almost like a Star Warsy, swarzy superpower. Like, the guy had the eye, and then yeah, so I mean we didn't go deep enough into what the mods do except save lives.
Right.
So that modder, did you notice like his hand came on and off?
Yeah.
His initial hand was a battle droid hand.
Right.
Like a separatist battle droid hand. I'm like, oh, that's why it looked familiar. I'm like, how looks familiar.
Yeah, and then he put like a plasma cutter on it.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
I had torturing Princess Leia flashbacks. I don't know if anyone else did.
Yeah. I'm trying to Let me see who that is because that was somebody. I forgot to look that up. Hold on one second. So that modder is somebody.
Thundercat.
Yeah. So who? Yeah, who's that?
I don't know. I'm not familiar with him.
I looked it up and then I heard it when I was doing some research. God, I just want to know the band. Anyway, you look it up. I'm gonna keep going. But his name is Thundercat.
Yeah.
Like that's his nickname. Anyway.
He's made his acting debut.
So while you're
He
looking,
looks like a rapper.
Yeah.
while you're looking that up, let's keep going. So
Oh,
we-
he's a bass guitarist, singer, and songwriter from Los Angeles. Oh, he's from Suicidal Tendencies.
there you go. That's I should have wrote it down, but I didn't.
Nice. That's pretty dope, actually.
Yeah. And if you listen in the background, I think it's a Suicidal Tendencies song.
Oh, is it? That's dope.
Like when they're in the mod parlor or whatever. it's
Yeah.
called. Yeah, it's a Suicidal Tendencies song.
I did not
That's
realize that. Okay, he's the bassist and he's one of the vocalists.
Pretty cool.
Now he's the actor.
Yeah, I mean that tends to happen a lot with musicians. So
So this is gonna hurt, but can we talk
Especially
about
in the MCU? Sorry, had to do
This-
that.
I'm just throwing this out here because I know that Phoenix is gonna get pretty indignant about this right here. Because she has said it in the past, but I have said if they do it right, I won't be pissed off about it, and they did it right.
Oh, you okay? Yeah. So we saw
Mhm.
what used to be known as the Slave One, but we even Bubba himself called it his fire spray gunship, right?
And that's
Yeah.
that's why I say that they did it right because it
completely
wasn't
okay with that.
that he was erasing Slave One or that he wasn't acknowledging that it's called Slave One. He basically just he referred to it by the class of gunship that it is. The same way that Din Djarin refers to his the Razor Crest as his Razor Crest
Mm-hmm.
because it is a Razor Crest class gunship,
Right.
right?
Yeah.
So it's Boba is just I want my fire spray gunship, right?
Mhm.
I'm okay with that because he is referring to it by the type of ship that it is and not calling it a fire spray or the fire spray.
Yeah.
It is, it very well can still be the Slave One, but he just referred to it by the class of ship that it is. It's the same way, like if you had a Dodge Charger and you nicknamed it, or if if you had a Demon, right? And rather than saying I want my Demon, you say I want my Dodge Charger. Like that is the same thing.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I was like, okay, he's gonna name his car. Okay, got it. Then you switch to Demon. I'm like,
Well, no,
is he going anime? What is happening?
no,
here?
no, 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 'cause I was trying to think of like naming your car, but it was there actually is a version of the Dodge Challenger
Uh-huh.
called the Demon. It's like they only made like 100 of them.
Oh, okay.
Right, and it's like it's got like 1,000 horsepower. It's ridiculous.
Yeah.
Right, and that's the whole thing is like you think of the Hellcat, right? The Hellcat is basically a modded Charger.
Yeah.
Right. So rather than saying like the name of the car is the Hellcat, right? But then you say, hey, I'm here to pick up my Dodge Charger.
Yeah, makes sense.
Right. That's why it doesn't bother me that he refers to it as the fire spray gunship.
I noticed that they've been doing that a lot this season.
I've noticed that they've been doing that in general in Star Wars is rather than giving them names, they're calling them by the classification that they are.
Which
Yeah.
makes so much more sense.
Right.
Yeah, because if you name your ship, people are going to be like, what?
Right. Because the last time we heard anybody actually in canon call it the Slave One was Django.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Right. Was he said, load everything up on the slave.
Oh,
He's
yeah.
telling Boba to load everything up on the Slave One.
Interesting.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like your dad naming a car and then you refusing to use the name for that car.
I don't even think that he refuses to use the name though. I think it's just in that case, You know, he's talking to somebody who probably doesn't know what the hell the slave one is, and he's like, I want my fire spray gunship.
Mhm. Makes sense.
Mhm.
Makes sense. So you guys are okay with it?
I'm okay with it.
I'm
So
okay
all
with
that
it.
hullabaloo about slave one, not slave one, and everybody's just fine with it.
Because if it was like if they were renaming the ship, then that
Yeah.
would be completely different. That's like disrespecting the past of the
Mhm.
character, right? But it's not that they're renaming the ship; they're just referring to it by its classification and
Yeah,
not by the
yeah, yeah.
name. You know,
I
and
got
that's to me that's okay because you're not erasing the history of the ship.
Right.
Mhm.
All right, let's move on. Let's what other Easter eggs? Oh, you know, when they go to Jabba's palace, when it was still Bib Fortuna's
Mhm.
to get slave one, or sorry, the fire spray gunship. We see some familiar droids. So in the kitchen,
Mhm.
Mhm.
and
Oh.
weird little like almost comedic scene
Yeah, it kind of was.
of them chasing like a rat or wampa or something.
Mhm.
Womp rat, I don't know, but it was weird.
Yeah, Wampa's the abominable snowman.
Yeah, sorry, womp rat. But we saw an EV droid who appeared in Return of the Jedi. And remember, if you remember, he was the one that would like assign captured droids to
Mhm.
certain things. Like he's the one that took R2 and said, you're a feisty little one, aren't you?
But you will learn respect.
Exactly. And he assigned him to the sail barge
Mhm.
to be a waiter.
Right.
So rude. But he was just like chilling, like, oh, you're a cook now. Okay.
Mhm.
Go work in there. But then we saw another droid, like a kitchen droid, that looked a lot like General Grievous.
Yeah.
I know.
And then he busted out like a bunch of knives, like they were sabers.
Yeah, and it was so weird. I'm like, that looks a lot like Grievous. And then he busted out the knives. I'm like, what is happening here?
It's Grievous.
This will make an excellent addition to my collection.
It was like a lo-fi Grievous or something like that. It was like really, really weird. But
General Fett.
Kenobi.
Hello there.
Are you guys digging all the droids that we're getting?
Yeah.
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 And aliens? We kind of talked about earlier, like a parade of aliens and droids. They really went crazy this year
Well, like I said,
or on this series.
and I guess this is not really a spoiler, but it's just tune into the
I
next
knew it.
guys.
I
But
knew it. I knew it.
yeah, it's like tune into the next episode, guys. But there is a droid in the next episode that is from a video game, and it's a big deal. So
Yeah.
Is it a big deal?
it is because it confirms that it's all connected.
Oh, I get it.
I mean,
That-
not that
that's
it's
what
not
I was
already
thinking.
confirmed everything's connected, because I mean, like, you know, the Inquisitors are like a thing, and we know who the Inquisitors are, but it's just like expanding on that universe, you know.
Mhm.
Interesting. Okay, let's go back. So we got the fire spray gunship.
Mhm.
Bo was like, I got some receipts to hand out, right? He's got to go back and pay some dues. So he takes out that biker gang,
Right.
but in a weird like flex, he goes all the way back to the Sarlacc pit and is like, I'm gonna take you out. I'm gonna take out, you know, the Sarlacc pit.
But that wasn't his intention when he went to the Sarlacc pit, though, which was like he had like this whole weird thing with the Sarlacc pit that happened.
He had to have some idea that he might have to do it.
No, but the thing is that he went to the Sarlacc pit looking for his armor,
Right.
knowing that he got out of the Sarlacc pit with his armor and then got knocked out by Jawas, and the Jawas took his armor. So it's kind of like
Maybe not. I'm
wondering if he just had a memory lapse and forgot that the Jawas knocked his ass out.
he was hallucinating at the time and full of acid. Like you wouldn't be like, oh, you know, I've got everything on me.
Because like I think the thing is like, you know, because a lot of people are like, oh, you know, he wouldn't forget that. It's like, but I mean, it could easily be that he had a lapse in his memory and was like, Last place I remember having my armor was in this fucking monster. Let me go and fucking check this thing out.
Yeah, like maybe the monster ate it again or something like
Right.
that. Who knows?
Yeah.
Who knows? Like whatever he could find.
Mm-hmm. Now we did get a pretty cool sequence with the Sarlacc and the slave.
Yeah, which that's what I was getting to.
Mm-hmm.
He's doing it. He's doing it.
What?
Slave.
I'm gonna continue calling it the slave.
Okay. Okay.
I mean, stop calling it the slave one.
I mean, you and I came to toe about whether or not we were going to call it that. Okay.
So we get this. We get a little fighty with the Sarlacc pit. But you know what was interesting in this? So they did the fighty, but they showed that the Sarlacc pit had a beak.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Which is something that like they brought in to like
The special editions.
the special edition version of Star Wars. Like
Mhm.
Mhm.
it didn't look like that, or they didn't really show it actually.
Not so.
So
Not
it's kinda nice
so.
that Filoni was like, or Filoni and Favreau were like, okay, let's do this. Let's do a little bit of canon on this and make it a little bit more legit.
Mm-hmm.
So I thought that was kind of cool. But how they handle the Sarlacc pit is kind of dope. It's like my favorite piece of
Right.
the fire spray
Mm-hmm.
is that these, like, what are they called? Sonic charges?
Seismic charges.
Seismic charges.
Yes.
These are the coolest thing ever.
Yeah. When we see him take out a couple TIE fighters, but I mean the most iconic scene is the Jango Fett Obi-Wan chase scene in Attack of the Clones.
Right?
Yeah.
Exactly.
If I may add to that real quick, though, we've known that the Sarlacc pit is like that the whole time. If you've ever looked in the Star Wars Visual Encyclopedia, yeah, there's like a whole.
You mean with the
like,
beak and all that?
Yeah.
But the
But,
first
you
time
know.
we saw it was like
It was just
the special edition. And
Yeah.
everybody was up. I remember that. Everybody was up in arms, about
it. I remember
Mhm.
everybody was all upset. They put a beak in the Sarlacc pit.
that. What if it was just like a dune sandworm? It was just a lazy sandworm. So
It
I
really
wanna
was.
move.
It's a sandworm that got fed. That's all
Exactly.
it was.
Like, just come to me. Just throw things in. I'll be the garbage heap.
We're just gonna throw everything in the Sarlacc pit.
So
It's
back
just
to-
a fat ass sandworm that's just sitting there like, feed me.
Exactly.
Right.
It's basically God, what was the plant's name in Little Shop of
Feed me,
Horrors?
Seymour.
Me, Seymour.
I'm hungry.
Back to that sonic charge though. Fennec, I love the more like action scenes Ming-Na Wen has, the better.
Mhm.
It's so good, like seeing her like jump around, do whatever it takes to get things done. This almost felt like once they got like trapped by the Sarlacc pit, it
Mhm.
felt a little like submarine-y, you know?
Yeah.
And she's like, fire in the hole or whatever she said.
Right.
I dug it. I dug that little scene. But for her, I'm like, this dude is crazy and putting us in danger nonstop. Like, why do I got to be hooked up with this guy? But she's like, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
I can handle it. By the way, Fennec also said something that kind of pulled back to Jedi.
Oh yeah.
So when they were talking about the guy that they captured,
Mm-hmm.
and they're like, what's going on with this guy? She's like, oh, he's singing like a Yuzum. I'm like,
Oh yeah.
Yuzum.
Mhm.
And then when I looked it up, I'm like, oh, that makes sense.
Yeah, Joe Yowza.
Yeah, so that is like the special edition version
Mhm.
again of Return of the Jedi. The lead singer,
Of Max Rebo's band.
yeah. So like that was, yeah, that guy. So she's like singing like a Yuzum. So I'm like, that's a nice little homage. Like
Mhm.
they didn't need to do that, like, but that little line made so much sense.
Right.
I dig it. And then moving on,
Mhm.
we go back to the sanctuary, and Black Chrysanthemum's getting a little a little tipsy.
Yeah. Dude, he goes off.
I didn't get this at first,
Mm-hmm.
but I guess it goes deeper into like the comics and story.
Right.
And I kind of dug how they found a way to work this in
Mm-hmm.
without really having to explain it or needing to explain it.
Right.
Yeah.
So the whole thing with Black Chrysanthemum, he's getting a little hyphy, getting a little drunk. He decides to go after some Trandoshans, like the
Yeah.
lizard people.
Mm-hmm.
Almost like just out of spite.
Right.
And it felt like he was targeting them.
It was very much a fuck you and all of your people.
Yeah, and I was like, okay, so he's just going crazy, but whatever. He specifically went after Trandoshans because I guess there's a history between Wookiees and Trandoshans.
A lot of times, Trandoshans are the ones that sell Wookiees into slavery.
Exactly.
Mhm.
Oh.
What they do is they go to
Okay.
Kashyyyk. Yeah, they go to Kashyyyk and they hunt Wookiees, and then they capture them and sell them into slavery.
I should have made that connection.
Mm-hmm. So the whole thing is like he just completely loathes Trandoshans.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So he loses it on these guys, and they look like almost like young Trandoshans that are just like, hey, we're having fun.
Mm-hmm.
We're rich and entitled, having so
Right.
much fun. He's just like, screw you guys.
Right.
So it's
That's-
like
that's you start seeing Gersa Fwip try to like talk him down, and it's
Yeah.
like, I understand your history and that you don't like them. Let it go. And she's like, no.
Well, he does kind of let it go.
so like so like a drunk gladiator comes in and rips one for a co-ed boy, frat boy.
Right. Now think of this too. Black Chrysanthemum was a gladiator, which means that he was a slave.
Yeah.
Which means that at some point in his life, when he was a young Wookiee, some Trandoshans stole him from his home and sold him into slavery.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He loathes Trandoshans.
Yeah. He basically pays to rip him a new one.
Right.
Yeah, exactly. I'm gonna make this mess.
I think the other thing too, though, is like in his like I think he felt like he was being disrespected. Like he probably felt like it was like, I don't want your charity. I don't want you giving me a free drink. This dude's people have oppressed my people for
Right.
eons.
Mhm.
And this kid deserves for me to do what I'm going to do to him.
Yeah.
You're not going to talk down to me and say that you're going to pay for my drinks and that's going to be okay. I'm ripping this dude's arm off. You can keep your money.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Because it's like an honor and a respect thing at that point.
Mm-hmm.
And as we know about Black Chrysanthemum, if you know anything about the comics and the character or just anything you've seen from the show so far with like the little we've seen of him, he's very, very hyped up on his honor. So,
Right.
I mean, that's also a thing with Wookiees. I mean, like, Wookiees are willing to give life oaths. Like you look at Chewbacca gave a life oath to Han.
Yeah.
So I mean, like, things like that, they are very, not caught up is the wrong word, but they're very big on their honor.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Speaking of Han, it's a nice little like callback to a line that Han said back in the original movie.
Yeah.
At the end of that, So he rips off a Trandoshan's arm, just throws it on the ground. And remember, Han Solo was like warning 3PO, like when they were playing hollow chess.
No one's upset. No one thinks twice about losing to a droid. He goes, a droid don't pull people's arms out of their sockets when they lose.
It's so good. We haven't seen some arms chopped off.
The only time we ever see an actual arm chopped off in Star Wars was Pigface.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But we haven't seen like lost arms and stuff lately.
Mhm.
We need more of that.
Right. What's funny is that's the only scene in Star Wars where someone gets their arm cut off by a lightsaber and it doesn't get cauterized.
Oh, there was some splatter, huh?
He cuts his arm off, and then when you see the scene of his arm on the ground, it's got blood coming out of it.
Oh yeah.
And that's the thing, is like that's the only time in Star Wars you see a lightsaber wound that doesn't immediately get cauterized.
Well, maybe like hit the ground hard and splattered.
I think it was more so that's just before they thought about that kind of thing,
Or
because it is from episode 4.
Obi-Wan's so dope. He's like, zzz.
Yeah.
He cut it off before it got cauterized somehow.
Exactly.
Yeah,
'Cause
that's
he's
Can you
like,
do it slowly?
because it's not plasma going through flesh. That's, it's not
Okay.
burning through flesh
all right,
immediately.
all right. Maybe things are different on this alien world. Okay, moving on. The first time I saw this last one, I didn't catch it. I had to
Really?
go back and I wasn't listening
I
for it.
heard it immediately.
But you know what's funny about this is that like it makes me think that they put so much effort into all the nuances
Mhm.
of this show.
Oh yeah.
The sound design, the sets, the characters and background pieces that they bring in. It makes me love it that much more. We're talking about at the very end of this episode when Fennec and Boba are talking on the balcony. He's like, I need muscle, and then all of a sudden you hear the Mandalorian theme
Yeah, Din Djarin's theme.
come in.
Mhm.
I was like, oh my God. When I went back and listened to it, I'm like, oh, that's so cool. I love how much they put into this show.
Right.
And
Because you
all the
hear it
different-
and like, and this is going to get into, our next portion of this segment. But I mean, at that point, we're going to see Din Djarin.
Mhm.
Because why else would you play Din Djarin's theme?
Right.
Like, we're going to see Din Djarin at some point.
Right.
And I got stupid excited because it was just like, dude, we're going to see Din Djarin? Like, and I thought it was going to be like a flash.
Mm-hmm.
Right. That's all I'm going to say. I'm going to leave it at that.
Yeah, you need to walk away. Walk away.
Ten!
Oh, man.
So you saw that too, or heard that too, right, Phoenix?
Yeah.
So just to add on top of that, so that was the lead in. It's the precursor for like we're getting the Mandalorian.
Right.
Mhm.
I guess at the very end of that, of them playing Din Djarin's theme, they mixed in another theme
Did they?
that we weren't quite aware of, and it might have been actually when the credits rolled or something like that. But at the very end of it,
Mm-hmm.
they added the subtle theme from Solo for the Crimson Dawn.
Oh,
Ooh.
At
okay.
the very end,
Because
it was
that's
like hints.
the same theme that's in the main Book of Boba theme.
Mhm.
Mhm.
So they kind of like tied it in there. I'm like, oh, look at them, just dropping little Easter eggs everywhere throughout this show. So I dug it. I'm like, okay,
Yeah, it's so good.
sound design, I dig it. New appreciation.
I mean, ILM does good work, so
Mm-hmm.
I know you've seen episode 5,
Yes.
but
no, really.
where do you guys think this is going? What do you think is next for Boba?
I'm not gonna mention anything else from episode 5
Yeah.
because I want everybody to see
Which
it
is kind
and
of a nice little
nerd out about it.
standalone, but like, let's talk about
just moving into
Boba.
the next
I was gonna say we're all not gonna get to do this next week, so I mean,
right.
it's a little, yeah.
My thoughts on what's gonna happen next. I think Din is gonna come and help Boba. They're basically gonna start pressing all the syndicates in the area
Mhm.
and kind of just like let them be aware of like the threat that the Pikes are. I think the Pikes are basically just being subcontracted out by Crimson Dawn. And I think by the end of the next episode, I think Kira's going to show up
end of episode 6 is
Yeah.
what you're saying.
because
Is this
it's only
the
7
last episode?
episodes, right?
6 is the last one, right?
7.
7.
7.
Yeah.
I
So
think we're gonna go through till 7.
I think we see Kira at the end because that's the cliffhanger leading us into 7. And then 7 is going to be whatever struggle he has with clearing out the Pikes. And then in the end, I think that there's going to be something with Din Djarin where, like, Din's going to go find Bo-Katan or something along those lines. And by the way, for anybody that's out there, this is not a spoiler for episode for the next episode. This is purely speculation based on what I think may happen.
For
Based on
Boba.
well,
For
based,
Boba.
but I mean, based like to get to the end of the series, based on where we left off in the Mandalorian to what we've seen so far on Boba Fett. I don't think that they're actually going to fight Crimson Dawn in this.
No.
I think that the Pikes are going to be their main threat, but then there's going to be a reveal by the end of episode 7, or maybe by the end of episode 6, that Crimson Dawn is what has been essentially feeding the Pikes. I mean, even given that Crimson Dawn had their hand in spice to begin with.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, like, like they're the ones that are feeding the Pikes their spice. Like they're like they're the gang above the gang that they're fighting right now.
Yeah.
And it's going to lead into that, which I think Crimson Dawn is going to be a different threat for another show. But in the end, Boba gets control of Tatooine by defeating the Pikes.
Yeah.
That was my question is, where do you think this is leading? Because we only have a couple more episodes left. We know that there's going to be a big reveal and a big setup for the last 2 episodes. What happens after this?
You know there's going to be some sort of like, oh my gosh, like the child stolen type deal. Like, because to get to drop us off on a cliffhanger, they stole the child, right? And then we were like, oh my gosh, I think they're gonna do that level of cliffhanger at the end.
But the thing is, they already said that Book of Boba is going to be a standalone. So
yes, but it's gonna feed back into
right. But that's why I'm saying. So like, I don't think they're gonna leave it off in any way. Like they're gonna tie up all the storylines in Book of Boba, which is why I think that he's going to defeat the Pikes, but in the end, it's going to be, well, the Pikes are working for Crimson Dawn, and that's going to be a excuse for him to leave Tatooine to go help Din Djarin and whatever Din Djarin's doing.
Mm-hmm.
Now, me and my buddy were talking earlier, and again, purely speculation, but do you guys think it would be cool, because they've been saying for a while that they want to bring this character back, that in the end they find an excuse to bring Mace Windu back?
Where did that come from?
We'll talk about it next week. That'll be our cliffhanger for this, because I don't want to spoil anything for episode 5.
Not this week, the week after.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
When we come back.
Yes.
From our hiatus.
Yeah.
But that'll be our cliffhanger. Because I don't want to explain Mace Windu without people seeing episode 5.
Mm-hmm.
I don't see how episode 5 ties in.
I'll tell you off, Mike.
Okay. All right.
I'll tell you my theory off, Mike, man.
All right.
Yeah.
You're deep into it. I get it.
It was 9:55 anyway.
Yeah. So I think that's what we have on this. Well, what speculations do you have, James?
I think this is probably going to tie into, this is almost like a middle chapter of the story of the Mandalorian, but I think this is also going to lead into something that they just haven't announced yet.
Right.
So just like how the Mandalorian season 2 ended and they announced Book of Boba, I think they're going to announce something else after this.
What if there's an Ahsoka trailer on the end of it? That would be dope.
Yeah, that would be pretty cool.
Or an Obi-Wan.
Or Obi-Wan. That's right. They have filming on Obi-Wan, so I mean, I could see that too.
And
it takes place on Tatooine.
Obi-Wan's supposed to be May.
Right.
So we'll see.
Well, let's see. Tacos on the table. Could we see Obi-Wan at the end of Book of Boba? Because he's skulking around.
No, he's not. He's dead.
No, he's not. He's dead. He's dead. So, like a Force Ghost. I have a feeling that we're gonna it's gonna be something.
You have a feeling it's gonna tie in somehow?
Mm-hmm.
If Crimson Dawn does show up, then they can tie in Obi-Wan with Crimson Dawn, because Maul is the leader of that syndicate. At one point, I guess he is, but and Maul ties in with Obi-Wan. They'll find a way.
But Obi-Wan has been doing all these things many years ago, right?
Right, because this
So-
the whole original trilogy takes place between Obi-Wan and Book of Boba. So
I mean, we went and left his house and he never came back to it. Did Luke go and clean it out? Or is it just exactly the way he left it? That's what I kind of want to know.
They actually touch on that in the comics where Luke goes back to Uncle Ben's hut or
Right.
whatever when he starts going through some stuff because he's looking to train as a
Right.
Jedi, so he's
Right.
looking for Jedi materials.
he's probably looking for anything that Obi-Wan used to commune too. So
And actually, he runs into Boba Fett during that that episode. But anyway, that's way back when.
well, guys, I think that is all we've got for this week. Now, next week, Jamez and myself are taking a slight hiatus, and Phoenix is taking over.
Uh-oh.
He's got some fun stuff for you guys planned for everybody here. Couple of guests, couple of things, but she's going to be handling everything on her own, and I have all the faith in her. So,
Thank you. Yeah, there'll be Ryan Permison and a friend that's a blast from the past for me. You guys don't know him, but I'm excited to introduce him to you guys. He's an actor and also a mortician. So yeah, he's kind of a cool. Yeah.
That sounds like a movie right there. Actor by day, mortician by night. Why do you gotta do that after my movie voice? I don't do that after your movie voice.
No, it wasn't the voice that you did. It's what we just described.
I am gonna miss
Actor
you
by
too.
day, mortician by night. What? Okay.
I'll miss you two both so much. Enjoy your vacation or secret agent mission, whatever you two are doing.
I am going on a secret agent mission.
Yeah.
Hot date. We're going on a hot date.
In service of
With each other.
furthering our ambitions as podcasters is what we're
Okay.
doing.
Yeah.
Anyways, guys, you got to check out our other shows. If you don't already, check out the shows that we do on the other days. Of course, every Monday from 6 to 8, we build Lego on Twitch, YouTube, and Facebook.
Including this coming Monday?
Not this.
No. I'm taking that over too.
Yep. I'm just gonna show you guys the progress.
So the progress on this, and we're gonna pause on this.
Mm-hmm.
But that is the top of Darth Maul's head.
Oh, okay. I see it now.
All right. So we are doing artwork and building Darth Maul.
Do you have the box over there?
What? Not the box, but I have this.
Because this is the art set, right? Where you buy one set and you get to pick which one you want to do, right?
Right.
Yeah.
And it's what is it? A Sith set?
It's called the Sith set. So that you can make Vader, you can make Kylo Ren. But I am doing Darth Maul based on what everybody voted for in the Nerdington post.
Nice.
Adam Driver.
At last, we will reveal ourselves to the Jedi.
Finish the line.
That's all I remember.
At last, we will have our revenge.
Oh, okay.
Reveal ourselves to the Jedi. Fucking and yeah.
Okay. But yeah, from 6 to 8, normally on Mondays, we build Lego and we interview people and we have all kinds of fun. Of course, on Wednesdays from normally either 7 or 7:30, depending on where we're doing it at. But we normally do The Download, which is what you're watching right now. And then, of course, you can catch me randomly playing video games because it's hard for me to build a schedule for that. So it's like, it's all based on, hey, when am I done with work? And do I have time to play right now?
Mhm.
Okay, that's basically when I get to play video games. So
And by the way, on the download, if you miss it live, which we love having people live in the chat and being interactive and sharing your opinions.
Mhm.
If you miss it, we have the video on Facebook, on YouTube, but also it becomes the podcast. So you can get it
Right.
on Spotify, on Apple, on iHeartRadio,
Amazon,
Amazon. Yeah. So you can also
Audible.
download it. Oh, look at you. Fancy.
It is on Audible. That's
Yeah.
not a joke. I wasn't kidding when I said that. So
You can go back and listen to the episode there too.
Fancy.
you just can't see our wonderful faces, but you can hear our voices.
Yeah.
Quick announcement for next week too. This episode will be an hour earlier than we usually do, because we'll be having Ryan Permison on, and he's back east, and it's not fair of me to keep him up a really long time. So we're
starting it at 10 o'clock your time.
Yeah. So we're starting 1 hour earlier so that we can have him on.
Right.
Super cool.
All right. Well, that being said, James.
Yes.
Tell him about us.
Oh, if you have something you want to discuss, tell us what you're nerding out on.
Yeah.
And make sure to let us know in the Facebook group, the Distance Nerdington Post.
Now, guys, tacos. You can buy us tacos if you really like us, right? Join the taco party. You got to be like Julie. You got to be like Aaron. You got to be like all of the great people, Ray, all the great people that buy us tacos that feed back into us making a better show for you. That also goes into the merch and everything else that we do. Guys, you go to distancenerding.com. That is distancenerding.com and click on the buy us a taco button. Now, also in the game streams, if you guys haven't noticed this, because I feel like nobody's been doing this, but it's all cool to give us money. But I've been putting a donate to Project Wish Upon a Star button on the bottom of my game streams. And I highly recommend you to donate to them because they have a great thing that they do. I love Project Wish Upon a Star, and I want to support them more. And I in supporting us, I want you guys to support them too.
I like it. Sounds good.
Now, guys, connect with us at Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, Twitch, YouTube, TikTok at Distance Nerding.
Phoenix, you want to say the last line?
Last line?
How do we end the show?
Thanks, and keep nerding
together.
Horrible. All right, let's do this. Dance party time. Let's go with boom.
Distance nerding. Oh, wait. Is that banner time?
Yeah.